I collect attributes in the apocalypse. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 476 Luozai Ocean's Plan. Lin Fan frowned slightly, exhaled slowly, and said, "To be honest, I'm not sure. I can feel that this level 4 zombie is not simple." "You are not sure even when using superpowers?" Muranzu asked. "Superpowers?" Mu Hongling was shocked, and looked at Lin Fan with her beautiful eyes and asked, "Lin Fan, have you awakened superpowers?" It must be said that Mu Hongling is still very good at catching news. However, Mu Hongling is now a member of their team, so there is no need to deliberately hide such things. Since it is said at this time, it is appropriate to tell Mu Hongling. "Yes, I have awakened superpowers, but I have never used them before." Lin Fan nodded. "Too amazing." Mu Hongling couldn't help but sigh. Lin Fan's strength has surpassed her by a lot, but she didn't expect Lin Fan to have awakened superpowers. And from Muranzu's question, Lin Fan's awakened superpowers should be able to improve his own strength. Then, the gap between her and Lin Fan is naturally much larger. It's really a long way to catch up with Lin Fan. Mu Hongling smiled helplessly in her heart. Lin Fan quickly returned to the topic and said seriously, "What I just said is that even if I use my superpowers, I don't have much control. From my own feeling, the strength of this level 4 zombie should be at the late stage of level 4, and it's not far from the peak of level 4. Anyway, I have only been a level 4 evolver for a short time. My strength belongs to the early stage of level 4 evolver. With superpowers, I am probably on par with the middle stage of level 4 evolver. It is difficult, very difficult to kill a level 4 evolver in the late stage." This is a judgment Lin Fan made for himself. Hearing Lin Fan say this, Muranzu also frowned and said, "Since it is so difficult, why don't we give up this time?" Muranzu was very worried about Lin Fan's safety. She didn't want Lin Fan to encounter any danger. She only hoped that Lin Fan could develop safely. Since dealing with this level 4 zombie is very risky, just give up and wait for another chance to encounter a level 4 zombie in the future. "Yes, brother Lin Fan, there's more than just one level 4 zombie. We can deal with other level 4 zombies later," Muran Shan said. Li Zihan and Mu Hongling also tried to persuade him. They didn't want Lin Fan to take risks. Lin Fan's eyes narrowed slightly, and he was also thinking about this problem. The number of zombies was huge. Not only were the level 4 zombies strong, but the level 3 zombies were also a big problem to deal with. It would be fine if he took the risk alone, but it was obvious that Muranzu and the others would also take the risk. This was not the situation he wanted to see. After thinking for a moment, just when he was about to make a decision and was about to give up temporarily, things took a turn for the better. "Lin Fan, someone appeared over there," Mu Hongling said hurriedly. Hearing this, Lin Fan, Muranzu, Muran Shan and Li Zihan all looked in another direction, and indeed saw a group of people walking into the sports square from the gate in that direction. The group of people who walked into the square were Luozai Ocean and others. After they entered the square, their eyes also looked directly towards the center of the square, locking onto the level 4 zombie. Sure enough, there is a level 4 zombie. Luozai Ocean's eyes almost glowed when he saw the level 4 zombie. In his opinion, the energy crystal of this level 4 zombie is in his pocket. After obtaining the energy crystal, his strength will be able to break through to the level of a level 4 evolver. Once his strength reaches a level 4 evolver, he will become the young master of Luomen, and the entire Luomen will fall into his hands 100% in the future. Such a temptation is not small. Haha, Zaya Ocean, after you take down this level 4 zombie and get its energy crystal, your strength will be able to break through to the level 4 evolver. In the future, Luomen will be in your hands, but don't forget your second uncle." The middle-aged man laughed and said. Those who followed here are all their people, so when they said these words, they naturally didn't have to worry about anything. Because the people they can always keep by their side are people they absolutely trust. Hearing the words of the middle-aged man, Luozai Ocean smiled and nodded and said, "Second uncle, don't worry. Even if I forget someone, I will never forget you. You have helped me a lot over the years, especially after the outbreak of the Doomsday. My strength can be improved so quickly, which is inseparable from you. When I really control Luomen one day, the position of deputy leader of Luomen will definitely be reserved for you. Don't worry about this, second uncle." Although Luo Ocean is not very old, he is still very good at winning people's hearts. Otherwise, people with rich experience like the middle-aged man would not be won over by him. Hearing Luo Ocean say this, the middle-aged man is naturally happier and feels that everything he has paid is worth it. Because his goal is to become the deputy leader of Luoman. Okay, Ocean, with your words, second uncle is relieved, the middle-aged man said with relief. By the way, second uncle, how should we deal with this level 4 zombie? Luo Ocean asked curiously. Don't worry, let's see first, the middle-aged man said in a deep voice, there are a lot of zombies here. If we want to deal with the 4th level zombies, we have to consider the rest of the zombies. The middle-aged man glanced while talking, and then said, I didn't expect that there are dozens of 3rd level zombies here. This is indeed a bit tricky. It seems that the people of the Zhang family haven't appeared yet. Did they come? Luo Ocean frowned. Impossible, this place is not far from their Zhang family, they can't not come. If they haven't appeared yet, they are probably on the way. The middle-aged man's face condensed, and said, we have to end the battle here before they rush over, so that we won't be disturbed by them. Second uncle, I think we can also consider another idea, Luo Ocean said. Oh? What idea? Ocean, tell me about it, the middle-aged man asked curiously. That is, it is not easy to deal with the zombies here. If our family goes to deal with them alone, the price we have to pay is not small. I believe that if the people from the Zhang family go to deal with them alone, the price they have to pay will not be small either. Luo Ocean smiled and said, in that case, why don't we join forces with the Zhang family to deal with these zombies together? After we get rid of these zombies, it won't be too late for us to fight for the energy crystals. In this way, at least we don't have to worry about the problem of being turned against us by the zombies. Chapter 477 It's impossible not to come. Luo Ocean's proposal immediately brightened the eyes of the middle-aged man. The middle-aged man's eyes flashed, and he said, yes, why didn't I think of this problem just now? It's really not easy to deal with these tens of thousands of zombies. Whether it's us or the Zhang family, it's a very challenging thing, and there may even be considerable risks. We have this idea, and the Zhang family also has this idea. It's not easy to deal with it alone. It's better to join forces and solve the problem of zombies first, and then solve the problem of the ownership of energy crystals. The middle-aged man felt like he had been enlightened and thought that Luo Ocean's suggestion was very appropriate. Yes, second uncle, we can cooperate with them. In this way, after the zombies are dealt with, it will be equivalent to a battle between us and the Zhang family. As long as we win the Zhang family, the energy crystals will naturally belong to us, Luo Ocean said with a smile. Okay, Ocean, let's do as you say. Let's find a place to sit for a while. I believe the people from the Zhang family should be here soon. Anyway, they can't not come, the middle-aged man said. After the middle-aged man finished speaking, they did not waste any more time and walked to the side, finding a relatively hidden place to hide, without doing anything to alert the enemy. Lin Fan's eyes flickered, and his sight was always locked on Luo Ocean and others. Read, he said in his heart. The data information of Luo Ocean and others kept appearing in his eyes. However, he quickly locked the data information of the middle-aged man. Species, human level, level 4 strength. 17 speed. 17 reaction. 17 superpower, none. All the data have reached 17, then it depends on whether his strength is strong enough. If it is strong enough, he can deal with a level 4 zombie. If it is not strong enough, he still can't deal with it. However, they did not act immediately, but found a place to hide. What is the reason? Or are they waiting for people to arrive? Lin Fan kept guessing in his heart. Brother Lin Fan, the strength of that group of people seems to be not simple, Muran Shan said in a low voice. Yes, I feel that their auras are not bad, especially the middle-aged man, who gives me a very strong feeling, Mu Hongling said. Well, their team is indeed not weak. Judging from the aura of that middle-aged man, he must have the aura of a 4th level evolver, Lin Fan said. He didn't say it too directly. After all, he couldn't tell Muran and others that the data of the middle-aged man was a little weaker than that of a 4th level zombie. It seems that they came here for this 4th level zombie, Muran also said. But where are they hiding and what are they doing? Did they find that they can't deal with them? Muran Shan asked doubtfully. I don't know their specific purpose, Lin Fan shook his head and said, but they didn't take any action. We can also stay and wait and see for a while. Maybe there will be some changes later. In short, waiting and watching is what we have to do now. Then let's hide over there too, Murangzu said while looking at a place not far away. There was indeed a good corner suitable for hiding. Staying in that place, not only can you see Luozai Ocean and others, but also the other 3 entrance gates. It is equivalent to a perfect area, taking in the entire sports plaza. I was planning to go there too. Lin Fan smiled slightly. Then, without delay, they quickly walked over there. At the same time, Zhang Yanping and others also came here from the west gate. After Zhang Yanping and others arrived, they also did not make a fuss. They cleaned up the zombies at the west gate and stayed there quietly, without attracting the attention of the zombies in the center of the sports plaza. The level 4 zombie is there. Zhang Yanping glanced over and locked onto the level 4 zombie. The way he looked at the level 4 zombie was as if he was looking at something that belonged to him, full of possessiveness. Well, that is indeed a level 4 zombie, and it seems to be very difficult to deal with. The thin man frowned slightly and said, I didn't expect so many zombies to gather here. There are not only level 4 zombies, but also dozens of level 3 zombies. It is really not easy to deal with them. 6th uncle, no matter how easy it is to deal with, I must get this level 4 energy crystal. Whether I can break through to the level of a level 4 evolver as soon as possible depends on it, Zhang Yanping said in a deep voice. I know, the thin man nodded and frowned and said, however, we can't act rashly, because the people from Luomen haven't appeared yet. Don't waste our physical strength to deal with them, but they come and take advantage of us. That would be too much of a loss. 6th uncle, they haven't appeared yet. Could it be that they don't plan to come? Zhang Yanping asked speculatively with a flash of doubt in his eyes. It's impossible not to come. The thin man shook his head and said in a firm tone, even if other people in Luomen don't care about the energy crystallization of this level 4 zombie, Luozai Ocean can't help but care about it. You know, Luozai Ocean is also at the peak of the level 3 evolver. The most important thing is, if Luozai Ocean doesn't break through to the level of the level 4 evolver, then Luomen will not give him the position of the young master, so, to some extent, he hopes to break through to the level of the level 4 evolver as soon as possible. Then you do. Hearing the thin man's words, Zhang Yanping nodded and said, yes, Luozai Ocean must first become a candidate for the young master of Luomen. Otherwise, if he can't even get the candidate, then he can forget about controlling Luomen in the future. Then are we waiting here for them to show up? Yes, let's wait and see. If they don't show up, I'm also worried that they are waiting in secret for us to deal with the level 4 zombies, and then they will come out to reap the benefits. This kind of thing must be prevented. The thin man is always an experienced person, and he has to take all these possibilities into consideration. Luozai Ocean and the others were observing the surroundings. At this moment, a Luomen man saw Zhang Yanping and the others and said, they are coming. Hearing this, Luozai Ocean and the middle-aged man reacted immediately. Luozai Ocean subconsciously asked, where are they? Over there, the man pointed. Luozai Ocean and the middle-aged man looked in the direction of the man's finger and saw Zhang Yanping and the thin man. It's them, Luozai Ocean said excitedly. Chapter 478. We are the fishermen. They stayed here and hid, waiting for Zhang Yanping and others to appear. After waiting for such a long time, they finally arrived. How could Luozai Ocean not be happy? After all, in his eyes, after they joined forces to deal with the zombies here, Zhang Yanping and others would still not be their opponents. In this way, the energy crystals of these zombies will belong to them, and he will be able to get the 4th level energy crystal, and he will be able to become a 4th level evolver as he wished, and even become the young master of Luomen. Let's go around and find them, the middle-aged man said. Okay, 2nd uncle, Luozai Ocean nodded. They are now in 2 different directions from Zhang Yanping and others. If they want to go straight, they have to go through the zombie group in the center of the sports square. This is obviously not feasible. Therefore, it is more appropriate to go around from the side. The group did not waste any time and immediately took action. Lin Fan, there is another group of people over there. Li Zihan was the first to see the appearance of Zhang Yanping and others, and couldn't help but remind them. Hearing this, Lin Fan and the others all looked over. Read, Lin Fan said to himself, and chose to read the data without hesitation. He glanced at the data of the rest of the people, which was not worth his careful observation. Only the data of the thin man made him look carefully. Species, human level, level 4 strength, 17 speed, 16 reaction, 16 power, None of the data information of the thin man was taken by Lin Fan at a glance. He said to himself, he is also a level 4 evolver, but judging from the data, he is not as powerful as the middle-aged man just now. Brother Lin Fan, these two groups of people came to this place, they should also come for the level 4 zombies, right? Muran Shan looked for a few seconds and asked slowly. It's almost certain. Lin Fan nodded and said, these two groups of people are wearing the same uniform. If my guess is correct, they should be from Luomin and Zhang's family. They are probably here to compete for the energy crystal of the 4th level zombie. People from Luomin and Zhang's family. Hearing what Lin Fan said, Muran Zhu, Muran Shan, Li Zihan and Mu Hongling all showed a solemn look on their faces. Before, they learned from Wang Changping that Luomin and Zhang's family belonged to 2 of the 3 major forces in Luocheng. Their overall strength was very strong, and there were 5th level evolvers in their forces. They didn't expect that people from these 2 forces would come here for a 4th level zombie. It feels like both of them are very strong. Mu Hongling frowned and said. Yes, they all have good auras. Li Zihan nodded and said lightly. That's good. Lin Fan smiled slightly, very happily. Now, Muran Zhu and the others were stunned. The stronger the opponent's strength, the more disadvantageous it would be for them, right? After all, in this way, they will lose the qualification to compete with the other party for the 4th level energy crystal, and will be completely left out. Brother Lin Fan, why do you think it's good that they are strong? Muran Shan couldn't help asking. Because they are strong, they will deal with those zombies, and we just need to remember one sentence. Lin Fan raised the corner of his mouth, smiled again, and said, the mantis stalks the cicada, unaware of the oriole behind. Yes. This is what we should do. They are strong, and they came here thinking that the 4th level zombies must be obtained. Then they will definitely take action against these zombies. When they are almost done fighting, we will reap the benefits. Muran Shan reacted suddenly. Muran Zhu, Li Zihan and Mu Hongling also reacted. No wonder Lin Fan said that this is the best way. It turns out that it is because of this reason. When the first group of people came here just now, I felt that they were waiting for something. Now the mystery has been solved. They are waiting for this group of people to arrive. Lin Fan narrowed his eyes and looked towards Luo Zai Ocean and others, but saw that Luo Zai Ocean and others were moving towards the location of Zhang Anping and others. No need to guess, Luo Zai Ocean and others are looking for Zhang Anping and others. Lin Fan, do you mean that these 2 groups of people will join forces to deal with zombies? Muran Zhu asked. Yes, there is a high probability that this is the case. Lin Fan nodded. Brother Lin Fan, that's not right. Shouldn't the Luo family and the Zhang family be in a competitive relationship? If they are in a competitive relationship, then they should fight for these things. Why do they have to join forces? Muran Shan asked with a simple mind. She is still a little girl, and sometimes she doesn't think so clearly. Lin Fan patiently explained, although Luomin and Zhang's family are in a competitive relationship, it doesn't mean that they can't take joint actions. The zombies here are probably beyond their expectations. Even if their respective strengths are not simple, there are certain risks if they want to deal with them. Their common goal is the energy crystals of zombies, so they have to get rid of the zombies first. So, at this moment, zombies are their common enemy. If they join forces and get rid of the zombies, they will definitely turn against each other and fight again to decide the ownership of the energy crystals. At that time, it will be our turn. We don't need to fight with them. We just need to take the energy crystals away. A series of complete plans have emerged in Lin Fan's mind. Of course, he also knows that the 2 teams of Luomin and Zhang's family are not simple. It is no problem for them to reap the benefits of being a fisherman, but if they want to wipe out the people of Luomin and Zhang's family, they will definitely not be able to do it. If they push too hard, Luomin and Zhang's family may join forces again to deal with them, which is a loss-making behavior. Lin Fan's words once again taught Muran Shan a lesson. Before Muran Shan could speak, Lin Fan said, in short, let's stay hidden here and see what happens before deciding what to do. Okay. Upon hearing this, Muran Zhu, Muran Shan, Li Zihan and Mu Hongling all nodded, indicating that they had no objection at all. As for Andy, he had even less objection. He obeyed Lin Fan's words 100%. Even if Lin Fan made a wrong decision, he would not have any objection at all. Zhang Anping and others found a hidden place and wanted to wait for the people from Luomin to appear. At this moment, the people from Luomin slowly appeared in their sight. 6 Uncle. Look, it's Luo Zai Ocean and the others. Zhang Yanping saw Luo Zai and the others approaching them, and his brows couldn't help but frown slightly. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 479 How to Distribute. Zhang Yanping's words instantly shifted everyone's attention, and all their eyes looked towards where Zhang Yanping's sight was. As expected, they saw Luo Zai and others coming straight towards them. They came directly towards us. It seems that they knew we were hiding here, which means they arrived here before us, the thin man pondered. Sixth uncle, what are they looking for us for? Do they want to go to war with us? Zhang Yanping frowned and asked. Looking at their demeanor, they don't seem to be coming to fight with us, not to mention that there are so many zombies here that have not been dealt with. It's not a wise decision for them to go to war with us. The thin man shook his head. What he was most grateful for at this moment was that they didn't attack these zombies as soon as they arrived. If they attacked these zombies as soon as they arrived, Luo Zai and others would definitely hide in the dark and wait for them to consume. They would not appear until they had consumed almost all the zombies, and then they would not have the energy to compete with Luo Zai and others. They are not here to start a war, Zhang Yanping muttered, and then suddenly thought of something and said, could they be here to join forces with us? His words suddenly woke up the thin man. Yes, Yanping, you are right. They may really come to join forces with us, the thin man hurriedly analyzed. According to the current trend, it is 100% certain that they arrived here before us, but after they arrived first, they did not attack the zombies. Obviously, they judged that their team would not have any advantage in fighting these zombies head-on, but would face certain risks, so, they themselves, just to wait for us to come here, so that they can join forces with us to fight the zombies together. After listening to the thin man's analysis, Zhang Yanping became more and more convinced that his guess was correct. Sixth uncle, if they really come to join forces with us, then should we agree to join forces or not? Zhang Yanping asked curiously. The thin man did not answer Zhang Yanping's question immediately, but thought about it thoughtfully, and then said, agree. Why? Zhang Yanping asked. Uncle Six, aren't you afraid that they will cheat? When dealing with the zombies, they will definitely not cheat, because no matter how we compete, if we want to get the energy crystals in the zombies, we must get rid of the zombies first, before the zombies are solved. Those energy crystals are just decorations for us, we can only look but not touch them, and with the strength of our team, it is still very difficult to deal with these zombies alone. In this case, it is better to cooperate with them and get rid of these zombies first, the thin man pondered and said. After the zombies are solved, it will not be too late for both sides to compete for the energy crystals. Hearing what the thin man said, Zhang Yanping did not object to their cooperation to deal with the zombies, but he was worried about another problem, and asked, then Uncle Six, are you sure you can deal with them? I guessed correctly, the fourth level evolver from the other side is indeed Luo Beijan. The thin man narrowed his eyes, nodded, and said, if it was someone else, I might have to think about it carefully, but since it was Luo Beijan, there is no need to worry too much. I will definitely be able to defeat Luo Beijan. The Luo Beijan mentioned by the thin man was naturally Luo Zai second uncle. In fact, the thin man's impression of Luo Beijan still remained in the past. He didn't know that Luo Beijan's strength had been improved by energy crystals. Originally, his various data were slightly higher than Luo Beijan, but after Luo Beijan was improved by energy crystals, his speed and reaction data reached 17, which was in turn higher than him. Okay, since you are confident, then I am relieved. Zhang Yanping felt a strong sense of confidence in the tone of the thin man. He breathed a sigh of relief and said, whether we can get that fourth level energy crystal depends entirely on the sixth uncle. Yanping, don't worry, the sixth uncle is here to assure you that the fourth level energy crystal will never fall into the hands of the people of Luomen. The thin man patted Zhang Yanping on the shoulder and said, if he knew that what he said would become a fact later, I wonder what he would think in his heart. The fourth level energy crystal would definitely not fall into the hands of Luomen's people, but it did not fall into their hands either. While they were talking, Luo Zai, Luo Beijan and others had already arrived in front of them. Haha, brother Zhang, how are you? Luo Beijan looked at the thin man and greeted him with a smile. Brother Luo, how are you? The thin man responded. It seems that the last time we met was a few months ago. I didn't expect to meet here after a few months, Luo Beijan said. Brother Luo, We are all sensible people. If we don't beat around the bush, why don't we all speak directly? The thin man asked with a fake smile. Haha, okay, I like to get straight to the point. Luo Beijing nodded and said, I believe that you, Brother Zheng, are here to deal with the 4th level zombies. We are the same. There is nothing to hide about this, however, we have all seen the current situation. The number and strength of this group of zombies are not simple. I feel that it is a bit difficult for any of us to deal with them alone, and we will also face considerable risks. So, Brother Zheng, my idea is, can we both work together to deal with the zombies? Luo Beijing's words were indeed very straightforward, without any evasion. After all, the thin man said it so bluntly. If he still tried to be evasive, I'm afraid that this cooperation would not be discussed. Brother Luo is right. This group of zombies is indeed not simple. Both of us will face considerable risks if we deal with them alone. The thin man nodded and said, it's not impossible to work together, but we have to agree first. After working together to solve these zombies, how should the energy crystals be distributed? This is their main topic. Hearing this, Luo Ziocean and Zheng Enping's eyes became more serious. When the thin man was talking to Luo Beijing just now, their eyes had already met several times. Speaking of which, they were still good friends before the Doomsday outbreak, but unfortunately after the Doomsday outbreak, they became competitors and enemies in different camps. Now they have to fight for the 4th level energy crystal, and there is nothing they can do about it. Brother Zheng, how do you think it should be distributed? Luo Beijing took a deep breath and asked in return. Chapter 480, let's start dealing with it. Although Luo Beijing already had an answer to the question of distribution, he still wanted to see what the thin man would say. The thin man narrowed his eyes slightly and said, Brother Luo, I asked you this question first. You should answer it first, not you asking me again. The thin man was not a fool. Luo Beijing wanted him to answer, so he naturally could not let Luo Beijing get what he wanted. Luo Beijing showed a helpless smile on the surface, then glanced at the zombie army and said, there are quite a lot of level 3 zombies here. How about we both score the energy crystals of level 3 zombies? Yes, we have no objection. The thin man nodded, and then shifted the topic to the most important part. What about the energy crystals of level 4 zombies? As for the energy crystals of level 4 zombies, Brother Zheng, let's not beat around the bush. At that time, both sides will fight for it based on their abilities. Whichever side can fight for it will own it. How about it? Luo Beijing said solemnly. Okay, let's do as Brother Luo says. This is what the thin man was waiting for. He had considered it before and proposed a solution, that is, let Zheng Enping and Luo Ziocean compete, whoever wins can get the 4th level energy crystal. But later he thought about it carefully. The competition between Zheng Enping and Luo Ziocean is always full of uncertainty. Although he is very confident in Zheng Enping's strength, he is afraid of the worst. If Zheng Enping loses, wouldn't it be a failure? Luoman and Zheng family are both well-known forces, and it is impossible for them to lose face for a 4th level energy crystal. And he thinks that his strength is stronger than Luo Beijing. If they compete as a whole, it is actually equivalent to a competition between him and Luo Beijing. Then, in this case, they are the real winners. Defeating Luo Beijing is equivalent to defeating Luoman's team, and the 4th level energy crystal will naturally fall into their hands. Okay, since Brother Zheng has agreed, let's do it according to the gentleman's agreement. Luo Beijing smiled slightly and said, I personally think we should attack this group of zombies from 4 directions, which will be better. 4 directions. The thin man took a look at the situation in the center of the sports square, then nodded and said, okay, then attack from 4 directions. Our Zheng family will attack from the east and south, and your Luoman will attack from the west and north. Brother Luo, do you think it's okay? Okay, let's do it. Luo Beijing said he had no objection and said, then start allocating manpower. The 2 sides quickly allocated manpower. Although they all believed that they could definitely deal with this group of zombies if they worked together, this group of zombies were not vegetarians. Before carrying out such a dangerous action, they should indeed allocate them carefully to avoid unnecessary casualties. The people they brought out all had the strength of a 3rd level evolver. Whether it was the Luoman or the Zheng family, it would take a lot of effort to train a 3rd level evolver, and they couldn't lose them in vain. There is no doubt that in order to ensure the safety of Luo Ziocean and Zheng Enping, Luo Beijing naturally assigned Luo Ziocean to be with him, and the thin man assigned Zheng Enping to be with him. In this way, with the 2 level 4 evolvers protecting them closely, Luo Ziocean and Zheng Enping's lives will naturally not be in danger. After the allocation of personnel, Luo Beijing looked at the thin man again and said, "Brother Zheng, shall we deal with them now?" "Okay, no problem," the thin man nodded again. He didn't want to waste too much time here. The sooner the battle ends, the better. Action. After seeing the thin man nod, Luo Beijing waved his hand and rushed out with the Luoman people. "Let's move too." Seeing this, the thin man also did not hesitate, waved his hand, and also rushed out with Zhang Enping and others. As mentioned before, the two sides' personnel were divided into 4 groups to carry out the action, 1 from the east, 1 from the west, 1 from the south, and 1 from the north. Their appearance naturally attracted the attention of the zombies. Roar! Roar! The zombies roared shrilly and began to rush towards them. Bang! Bang! Those zombies that rushed over, especially those in the front, were undoubtedly the ones that died the fastest. "Brother Lin Fan, they have started to deal with the zombies," Murong Shan said happily. "Let them deal with them. We just need to watch the battle here. When they get rid of the zombies, it will be our turn to appear." Lin Fan smiled slightly. The highlight is always the last one to be staged. Hearing what Lin Fan said, Murongzu and the others looked at each other and smiled. "Anping, you should also find a chance to deal with those level 3 zombies and improve your actual combat experience." The thin man looked at Zhang Enping and exhorted him while dealing with the zombies. "Okay, Uncle Six," Zhang Enping nodded. He is now at the peak of the level 3 evolver. If he wants to fight level 3 zombies alone, he is not afraid of any of them, as long as he is not surrounded and attacked by level 3 zombies. With a skinny man, a level 4 evolver, next to him, even if he wanted to be surrounded and attacked, it was impossible. Therefore, he could practice and improve himself without any worries. The same was true for Luo Ziocean. Under the protection of Luo Beijing, Luo Ziocean also began to look for level 3 zombies to practice with. However, although there were many level 3 zombies here, it should be noted that the number of ordinary zombies was also very large, adding up to no less than 40,000 or 50,000. They could not deal with level 3 zombies as they wished, but had to get rid of the ordinary zombies first. Bang! 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 The zombies' heads kept falling to the ground under their attack. It must be said that the strength of these two teams was indeed very strong, and on average, many zombies died in their hands every minute. "Lin Fan, I see that they are so powerful, and both teams have level 4 evolvers. What if they are still strong after getting rid of these zombies? Then we can't snatch the energy crystals from them, right?" Mu Hongling asked with a frown after watching for a while. The question she asked was also the doubt that had come to Murongzu's mind after watching. The team of Luo Ziocean, Zhang Enping and others was really powerful, and they couldn't help but admire it. It's okay, this is just the beginning. 40 or 50,000 zombies are enough for them to kill for a long time, and they must have consumed a lot of resources. Lin Fan's eyes condensed, and he slowly said, "Anyway, the same thing, we just need to wait and see. If they still have strong combat power after dealing with the zombies, then we can only be forced to give up and can't risk our lives to compete with them." Chapter 481 Zombie Communication. Lin Fan was very courageous when doing things, but he always put his life first. If he determined that something was life-threatening, he would think carefully and not take risks. After all, he had died once, and he finally had the opportunity to be reborn. He didn't want to die again. It was hard to say whether he would have the opportunity to be reborn at that time. The battle in the center of the sports plaza became more and more intense as time passed. Luo Ziocean and Zhang Enping had each killed 3 level 3 zombies so far. From the speed and efficiency of the two of them killing the level 3 zombies, it was not easy to tell who was stronger, unless they really had a life and death battle. Roar! The level 4 zombie had already had considerable intelligence and knew that Luo Ziocean and Zhang Enping were not bad and difficult to deal with, so it opened its mouth and roared, as if it was giving orders to the zombies, directing them how to attack. Brother Lin Fan, after that level 4 zombie roared, the zombies' attacks seemed to become more regular. Could it be that they can really communicate with each other? Murong Shan asked in surprise when she saw this scene. For this question, Lin Fan could only shake his head and said, "I think they should be like animals. We can't understand the sounds of animals, but animals should be able to communicate with each other. Perhaps only they can understand their sounds. Moreover, it is 100% certain that the higher the level of the zombies, the higher their intelligence. Fortunately, they don't feel any pain. If they did, I guess they would know how to avoid our attacks," Lin Fan's inference is not unreasonable, but a summary after a certain period of time. As for what the communication language between zombies is, it is not something it can know. I wonder if this ring can sense it in the future. Lin Fan suddenly thought of the ring on his hand. This ring can read out various data. Maybe one day in the future, it can really help him understand the communication between zombies. This kind of thing is not impossible. It's amazing, Shan exclaimed. Now our leader has the strength of a level 6 evolver. I wonder what level the highest level among the zombies has reached. According to normal reasoning, the doomsday world will be more beneficial to zombies. I guess that perhaps the strongest person in the world is not a human or an animal, but a zombie. Lin Fan pondered, the number of zombies is too large. In an environment where they can evolve, their evolution speed may not be slower than that of humans. Maybe, there are already level 7 zombies. Level 7, hearing Lin Fan's words, Zhu, Shan, Li Zihan and Mu Hongling were all shocked. The existence of such strength was indeed beyond their expectations. They didn't even dare to think about how powerful the other party was. I'm just talking casually. Anyway, we don't have the opportunity to meet now, so don't take it to heart. Lin Fan noticed that the expressions of these girls were very shocked. He was worried that what he said would cause a lot of psychological pressure on the girls, so he couldn't help but comfort them. Yet, Zhu and the others nodded slightly, but they didn't take it to heart. In a blink of an eye, 3 hours passed. The battle in the center of the sports square was still going on. But the scene had changed a bit. Before, they had been dealing with zombies on the periphery, but now, the zombies on the periphery had been cleaned up by them, and they began to move closer to the real core. Luo Beijing glanced at the location of the 4th level zombie, then turned back to look at Luo Xiaoshan beside him, and whispered, Xiaoshan, I'm going to deal with that 4th level zombie, you be careful, okay, second uncle, don't worry, I'll pay attention, Luo Xiaoshan responded. He would not joke with his own life. When Luo Beijing was not around, he would rather kill fewer zombies than risk his life. After all, if something happened to him, the position of the young master of the Luo clan would most likely not fall on his head. Hearing Luo Xiaoshan's answer, Luo Beijing nodded slightly, then locked his eyes on the thin man, and said loudly, Brother Zheng, I think the time is almost up, let's go deal with that level 4 zombie, what do you think? Hearing this, the thin man also nodded and said, okay. At this point, they all knew that even if they did not take the initiative to deal with the level 4 zombie, the level 4 zombie would come to deal with them. Instead of waiting until then to be passive, it is better to take the initiative now. However, before rushing over, the thin man also glanced at Zheng Anping and said in a serious tone, Anping, I'm going to deal with a level 4 zombie. You should be alert and remember not to get close to us. Otherwise, if the level 4 zombie is crazy and wants to attack you, we may not be able to stop it in time. After all, the strength of the level 4 zombie is not simple. The closer they were to the level 4 zombie, the more they could feel that the level 4 zombie was not simple. It would be fine if the level 4 zombies were to tangle with him and Luo Beijing, but if the level 4 zombies insisted on rushing into the crowd to attack Zheng Anping and others, he and Luo Beijing might not be able to stop them completely for a while. Therefore, the best way is not to get close to them. Stay away from their battle circle and keep a certain distance. Even if there is any emergency, there is still time to deal with it. Don't worry, Uncle Six, I will pay attention, Zheng Anping nodded solemnly. Well, okay, the thin man responded, and looked at the other people of the Zheng family, saying, you guys, stay closer to Anping, protect Anping's safety, and never let Anping get hurt. Yes, the Zheng family members responded quickly, then looked at each other, and moved closer to Zheng Anping together, appearing within a safe distance. In such a range, if Zheng Anping encounters any danger, they can also help him at the first time. After making sure that Zheng Anping would not be in danger, the thin man was relieved. Without further delay, he stepped on the ground and rushed out with Luo Beijing towards the 4th level zombies in the center. Bang! Bang! The zombies they encountered on the way could not block them at all. They were punched away one by one. Several second-level zombies were kicked hundreds of meters away by them. In mid-air, before they fell back to the ground, their bodies broke into several pieces. It was as miserable as it could be. Fortunately, zombies have no sense of pain, otherwise, the pain of having their bodies torn apart would be terrifying. Chapter 482 Find an Opportunity. The thin man and Luo Beijing were both very fast. After all, They were both genuine level 4 evolvers. As long as they didn't encounter a level 4 zombie, it wouldn't be able to hinder them. Therefore, it didn't take long for the two of them to arrive in front of the level 4 zombie. Roar. Seeing the Thin Man and Luo Beijing rushing over, the level 4 zombie opened its mouth and let out a roar. From its voice, one could fully feel the anger. Obviously, in the eyes of the level 4 zombie, Luo Beijing and the Thin Man dared to come to its territory and act wildly, which was purely seeking death. Brother Luo, do it. The Thin Man looked at Luo Beijing and gave him a look. Okay, Luo Beijing nodded in response. Then, the two of them attacked the level 4 zombie without hesitation. Now the level 4 zombie is their common enemy. The only idea of the two of them is to get rid of this level 4 zombie first, and they will not have any other ideas. After all, they all want to get the energy crystal of the 4th level zombie, but the premise is that the 4th level zombie must be killed. If the driver zombie is not killed, then no matter how many ideas they have, it will be meaningless. Bang! Bang! It must be said that the strength of the Thin Man and Luo Beijing is still quite good. The two of them change positions back and forth, one on the left and the other on the right, and constantly attack the 4th level zombie. Under their attack, the 4th level zombie did not find a chance to counterattack for a while. Of course, their attacks on the 4th level zombies will not bring any pain to the 4th level zombies, unless the weapons in their hands can attack the heads of the 4th level zombies. But the 4th level zombies are not stupid. When they see that they are going to attack their heads, they will undoubtedly choose to dodge and will not stretch their heads out for them to attack. Brother Luo, let's not hold back anything. We will get tired, but this thing will not get tired. If we delay, it will be very disadvantageous to us. The Thin Man looked at Luo Beijing and said immediately. He felt that Luo Beijing seemed to be holding back when he attacked again. This feeling was not particularly obvious, but if he reminded him, Luo Beijing might be able to use his full strength. Of course, the strength of this level 4 zombie is not simple in itself. When the two of them joined forces, they really needed to do their best. If they didn't do their best to deal with it, it would be impossible to kill this level 4 zombie. Hearing the Thin Man's voice, Luo Beijing nodded and said, okay, go all out and get rid of it as soon as possible. As soon as the voice fell, Luo Beijing's strength became stronger. Similarly, seeing that Luo Beijing's strength was stronger, the Thin Man had to go all out. However, what the Thin Man didn't know was that when he went all out, Luo Beijing still had some reservations. Because Luo Beijing's strength was stronger than his, but he was still in the dark. Luo Beijing had already thought about it. When the level 4 zombie was solved, he would take the energy crystal of the level 4 zombie with a thunderbolt, leaving the Thin Man no chance at all. While the Thin Man and Luo Beijing were dealing with a level 4 zombie, Zheng Anping, Luo Ziocean and the others were still fighting the rest of the zombies. Although the number of zombies was huge, Zheng Anping, Luo Ziocean and the others were not pushovers. And they were able to defeat the rest of the zombies in a steady manner. Brother Lin Fan, do you think the two of them can beat that level 4 zombie? Murong Shan stared at the battle between the Thin Man, Luo Beijing and the level 4 zombie for a long time, then retracted her gaze and asked Lin Fan curiously. Both of them are masters of Luomen and Zheng family. Maybe their own level is not as high as that level 4 zombie, but if they join forces and cooperate well, they should be able to deal with that level 4 zombie. Lin Fan's eyes condensed slightly, and he pondered, the key is whether the two of them work together to deal with it. If they work together, they can kill that level 4 zombie. If they don't work together, then the situation is hard to say. It is normal for each of them to have their own ulterior motives in such cooperation. However, as of now, Lin Fan did not find that the Thin Man and Luo Beijing were playing any tricks. Both of them were very serious about dealing with a level 4 zombie. Of course, he also made another preparation, that is, if the Thin Man and Luo Beijing really couldn't deal with it, he would rush out to deal with it together with them. With his participation, the level 4 zombie can be dealt with 100%. At that time, he would rely on the unexpected effect of his supernatural power, and he should be able to take the energy crystal of the level 4 zombie before the Thin Man and Luo Beijing could react. As for those level 3 energy crystals, if you can get them, get them. If you can't get them, there is nothing you can do. After all, there are only 5 of them, Murong Zhu, Murong Shan, Li Zihan, Mu Hongling and Andy, while Zheng Anping, Luo Ziocean and others add up to dozens. When he went to deal with the level 4 zombies, it was obvious that Murong Zhu and Andy could not deal with Zheng Anping, Luo Ocean and others, let alone snatch the level 3 energy crystals from Zhang Yinping, Luo Ocean and others. Time passed again. Bang! Bang! The battle between the Thin Man, Luo Beijan and the level 4 zombies became more and more intense, and dull sounds continued to come from them and the level 4 zombies. Up to now, the level 4 zombies have been fighting back against them at any time. The strength of the level 4 zombies has reached 18, and when the attack falls on them, it will undoubtedly make them feel very painful. Fortunately, they couldn't withstand it. If it were someone else, a punch from the level 4 zombie would be enough to cause serious injuries. By the way, we didn't bring guns with us this time, did we? Lin Fan looked at the situation in the field, then thought of something and asked. No, Murengzu and the others looked at each other and shook their heads at the same time. If we don't bring guns, we can only take it one step at a time. Lin Fan smiled helplessly. He also thought that if he brought guns, he could let Murengzu and the others ambush in the dark, and then try to snatch more level 3 energy crystals. Brother Lin Fan, what are your plans now? Mureng asked. Murengzu, Li Zihan and Mu Hongling also stared at Lin Fan closely. They also wanted to know what Lin Fan's plan was. Lin Fan's eyes swept over the four of them, took a deep breath, and then said, I want to find an opportunity to go out and deal with a level 4 zombie with them. What? When these words came out, there was no doubt that Murengzu, Mureng, Li Zihan and Mu Hongling were all shocked. Lin Fan. Are you saying that you plan to go with them to deal with a level 4 zombie? Li Zihan thought they had misheard and repeated it. Yes, that's what I mean. Lin Fan nodded seriously. Brother Lin Fan, why is that? Didn't we just say that we should be the fishermen and reap the benefits? Mureng asked with a puzzled look on her face. Chapter 483, Prepare to Participate. Mureng didn't understand what Lin Fan meant, and Murengzu, Li Zihan and Mu Hongling didn't understand either. The four of them looked at Lin Fan in confusion. After all, this was completely different from what Lin Fan had planned before. Lin Fan took a deep breath and explained, I just looked carefully. Although the strength of those two people is not simple, the strength of that level 4 zombie seems to be even more difficult. The most important thing is that they are still holding back from each other in order to wait for the energy crystals later, and they didn't really go all out to deal with that level 4 zombie, so, I don't think they can get rid of that level 4 zombie. That is to say, if I don't join them, they will soon be consumed by the level 4 zombie to the point where they don't have much physical strength and energy. After all, they are human beings, they will get tired, but level 4 zombies have no perception, and the driver zombie will not feel tired at all. Hearing what Lin Fan said, Murengzu, Mureng, Li Zihan and Mu Hongling suddenly reacted, and it turned out that Lin Fan had already seen through the tricks of those two people. Those two guys are really too bad. They clearly want to join forces to deal with a level 4 zombie, but they don't show their full strength. Mureng couldn't help but complain. It's not their fault. Their cooperation is just a superficial behavior. Everyone knows that they will have to fight for energy crystals. If one consumes more energy faster when fighting the zombies, then the chance of winning the energy crystals will undoubtedly be much smaller when fighting for the energy crystals, Lin Fan said slowly. That's true, Murengzu nodded, looking at Lin Fan with worried eyes, and said, but if you just rush out to fight the level 4 zombie with them, will they come to deal with you first? That's definitely not the case. They are now eager for someone to join them so that they can quickly get rid of the level 4 zombie. Lin Fan shook his head and said, but, if you deal with a level 4 zombie, the two of them may still join forces to deal with you first. After defeating you, they will fight for the energy crystals. This possibility is not impossible, right? Murengzu asked. Yes, this possibility definitely exists, but don't forget that I am a person with superpowers. I carry hidden weapons with me. When I use my superpowers to control the hidden weapons, they may not be able to get close to me. Lin Fan smiled slightly and said confidently, and taking advantage of this time, I can quickly seize the energy crystal of the 4th level zombie. Once I get the 4th level energy crystal, I will definitely not stay. I will retreat immediately. I can't entangle with them. They are numerous and powerful. Compared with them now, we have no advantage in terms of numbers or strength. We can only take the method of quick battle and quick retreat to get some benefits. Oh, right, I almost forgot about Brother Lin Fan's superpowers. When you use your superpowers to control the 3 hidden weapons, I believe that these people will not be able to get close to you. At that time, Take the 4th level energy crystal and leave as quickly as possible. I guess they will be so angry that they will vomit blood on the spot, Murong Shan said playfully. When she said this, she seemed to have seen the scene of the thin man in Luo Beijing vomiting blood. What about us? Mu Hongling asked. As for you, Lin Fan frowned and said with a serious look, although I have an idea to let you go and snatch the 3rd level energy crystal, I always feel that it is too risky. What if they surround you? The situation will be very bad. Even if the probability of surrounding you is very low, it still exists. To be honest, Lin Fan really didn't want Murong Zhu, Murong Shan, Li Zihan, Mu Hongling and Andy to take risks. He would rather go alone than take them with him. There are about 50 level 3 zombies here, which means there are also 50 level 3 energy crystals. If we don't get any of them, it would be a waste, Mu Hongling said slowly. When you go to deal with the level 4 zombies with them, we can also pretend to go to deal with the level 3 zombies with them, and then find an opportunity to collect the energy crystals of the level 3 zombies in secret. You know, those level 3 zombies they solved just now didn't collect the energy crystals. We can't miss such a good opportunity in vain. Moreover, even if they really find out our purpose, they may not be able to get away to deal with us. There are so many zombies entangled with them, and they can't do whatever they want. After hearing what Mu Hongling said, Murong Shan was the first to say, yes, brother Lin Fan, you went out to fight, and let us hide here and watch. It's really not nice. Shouldn't we share the joys and sorrows? You can't be the only one taking risks while we sit here and enjoy it. That would be too unfair. We should go out together to snatch the energy crystals. Lin Fan, let's go together. We will be careful and try not to let them discover our purpose, especially when collecting the 3rd level energy crystals. We must do it when they are not paying attention. There are still many zombies here, and the dead zombies are piled up. As long as we are careful, there will definitely be a chance, Murong Zhu also said. Li Zihan nodded, and the last one said, we all want to improve our strength quickly. Since we can encounter so many 3rd level zombies here, it would be a waste if we don't collect some of these 3rd level zombies' energy crystals. After listening to Murong Zhu and the others, Lin Fan was also a little shaken. Just when he was about to speak, Andy came to his side and nudged his leg with his head. Lin Fan looked down and suddenly thought of something. He grinned and said, I almost forgot about Andy. The corpses of zombies have piled up in the sports plaza now, but if you go to collect the 3rd level zombie energy crystals, the target is still a bit big and they can easily find it. However, if Andy goes to collect them, the target will be much smaller, and Andy's attack method itself is to use his mouth. When Andy collects energy crystals, they really may not notice it. Every time he collects energy crystals, Andy will find an opportunity to go to you and give the energy crystals to you to put away. This should be very safe. Andy is a dog, and he has no pockets to put things in. After getting the energy crystals, he can only give them to Murong Zhu and the others to keep. It is impossible to take other ways. Yes, brother Lin Fan, let's do this. We will definitely be able to collect a lot of 3rd level zombie energy crystals when they are not paying attention. When we absorb the 3rd level energy crystals, our strength will also be greatly improved, Murong Shan said excitedly. Okay. In that case, let's make a happy decision. Lin Fan nodded and decided on the next action plan. Then he looked at the field again and said, I will go in first and greet them. Then you can come in to help. Andy must also appear in their sight, especially to let them know that you are a level 3 pet dog. Only then will they believe that you can deal with zombies. Okay, Murong Zhu and the others responded in unison. Andy couldn't speak, but he nodded his dog head. Chapter 484 Helper appears. With his plan, Lin Fan didn't waste any more time. He stepped out and rushed towards the center of the sports square. Bang! Bang! At this moment, the thin man and Luo Beijing's bodies kept interweaving, appearing back and forth in all directions of the level 4 zombies, and constantly attacking the level 4 zombies. But when they attacked the head of the level 4 zombie, they were either blocked by the level 4 zombies or dodged by the level 4 zombies. In short, only when they didn't attack the head of the level 4 zombies, their attacks could fall on the level 4 zombies. This was undoubtedly a very tricky problem for them. Because, if they couldn't attack the head of the level 4 zombie, it meant that they couldn't kill the level 4 zombies. If they couldn't kill the level 4 zombies, it meant that they couldn't get the level 4 energy crystals. The most important thing was that if they continued to consume like this, the physical strength of both of them would be almost half consumed. If the situation didn't change, when their physical strength was consumed to a certain extent, they could only choose to be forced to retreat and deal with it after their physical strength recovered. Brother Luo, this is not a solution, the thin man continued to attack, speaking as he attacked. Brother Zheng, do you have any good suggestions? Luo Beijing glanced at the thin man and asked in return. Without help, I'm afraid it will be difficult for us to get rid of this guy today. The thin man naturally had no other suggestions. Helper, Luo Beijing frowned slightly, shook his head and said, this is a level 4 zombie, not a level 3 zombie. Even if there is help, it must be a level 4 evolver to join in order to be effective. A level 3 evolver can't help much, but will take up space and affect our operation. Just as Luo Beijing finished speaking, Lin Fan's figure also appeared in the area within the center of the sports plaza. Who is this guy? Why is he here? Is this guy looking for death? Can't he see that we are dealing with these zombies? Does he want to take advantage of the situation and take our energy crystals? Impossible. You see how young he is, and you know that he doesn't have the strength and courage to defend us. Lin Fan's appearance undoubtedly attracted everyone's attention, and eyes converged on Lin Fan. There were people from Luomin and Zhang's family who speculated on Lin Fan's intentions, but only a few of them did so. Most people still believed that Lin Fan did not have that kind of strength and courage. After all, in this Luocheng, everyone knew how powerful the Luomin and Zhang's forces were. If you dare to offend Luomin and Zhang's family, don't even think about staying in Luocheng. Zheng Anping also looked at Lin Fan. He found that although Lin Fan looked very young, he seemed to reveal a hidden edge. This kind of edge was something he had never seen in Luo Ziotian. When Zheng Anping was looking at Lin Fan, Luo Ziotian was also looking at Lin Fan. Like Zheng Anping, he also found the kind of hidden edge in Lin Fan, which he had never seen in other young people before. Lin Fan ignored the gazes of Zheng Anping, Luo Ziotian and others. After entering the center of the sports square, he went straight to the thin man and Luo Beijing. The zombies that blocked him along the way were easily solved by him. Soon, he came to the place 10 meters away from the battle circle of the thin man, Luo Beijing and the 4th level zombies. You two, I have no other ill intentions. It's just that this is the first time I have encountered a 4th level zombie. I want to feel how strong the 4th level zombie is. If you don't mind, I am willing to lend a hand to you, Lin Fan said. You lend us a hand. Hearing this, the thin man and Luo Beijing were slightly stunned. When they looked at Lin Fan, they found that Lin Fan's momentum was not simple. Lin Fan knew that the thin man and Luo Beijing had doubts about his strength. A barely perceptible smile flashed across his eyes. He suddenly clenched his fists together and swung them violently. A sound of breaking through the air resounded. Level 4 evolver, you are also a level 4 evolver. After feeling the sound of breaking through the air, the thin man and Luo Beijing were both very surprised. They did not expect that Lin Fan, who was so young, actually had the strength of a level 4 evolver. This was indeed too unexpected for them. What? He is a level 4 evolver, oh my god. He is so young, how could he have the strength of a level 4 evolver? Even the people of the Zhang family and Brother Beijing said so. Could they still make a wrong judgment? Where is this kid from? He is too evil. Yeah, I have never seen such a person in Luocheng before. The thin man and Luo Beijing did not deliberately conceal their voices. The rest of the people could hear them clearly. They did not expect that Lin Fan had the strength of a level 4 evolver. Level 4 evolver, Zheng Anping's heart skipped a beat. He just realized it now. No wonder he felt that Lin Fan had a hidden edge when he saw him just now. It turned out to be this reason. How did he grow up? Luo Ziotian also felt incredible. You know, Lin Fan looked several years younger than him, and he had the support of Luomin, a force behind him, providing a lot of resources. But until now, he has not yet broken through to become a level 4 evolver. It must be said that Lin Fan's existence has dealt a big blow to Zheng Anping and Luo Ziotian. They never thought that they would meet a young man whose talent and potential are much stronger than theirs in this place. Do you want to help us deal with the level 4 zombies? Luo Beijing looked at Lin Fan and asked. Yes, Lin Fan nodded. Just a simple deal with it? No other purpose, Luo Beijing asked. Just dealing with them. Want to feel how strong the power of the 4th level zombies is? Lin Fan said seriously. We are here to gain experience. We are not from Luocheng, nor from this province. We came from Jiangnan province. You guys, the thin man and Luo Beijing frowned. I have a few friends over there, but they don't have the strength of 4th level evolvers. They are only 3rd level evolvers. They also want to deal with the zombies here to gain experience and improve, Lin Fan still said seriously. However, in order not to appear too abrupt, I came out to greet you first. The Thin Man and Luo Beijing seemed to believe half of the information Lin Fan said. First of all, they are all from the top forces in Luocheng, and they know very well which powerful young talents there are in Luocheng and even the entire province. They have never seen Lin Fan's appearance before. This is the first time they know Lin Fan. Therefore, they all believe that Lin Fan is not from Luocheng, nor from this province. As for which province Lin Fan came from, they didn't want to care about this issue. After all, no matter which province he came from, he was now in their territory of Luocheng. As the saying goes, a strong dragon cannot defeat a local snake, so they don't need to worry that Lin Fan dares to cause trouble here. Okay, since you want to feel the power of a level 4 zombie, then you join us and fight this level 4 zombie together with us, the Thin Man said in a deep voice. Let your friends come out to fight the rest of the zombies. Luo Beijing followed. Chapter 485 slowly approaching. Luo Beijing wanted to see how strong Lin Fan's friends were. Naturally, it was not enough for Lin Fan to join them to deal with the 4th level zombies. Lin Fan's friends had to show up as well. No problem, Lin Fan nodded, then turned his head to look at where Murengzu and the others were standing, waved his hand, and said, you guys should also come out to deal with those 3rd level zombies. Hearing Lin Fan's voice, Murengzu and the others looked at each other, and without any delay, they all came out and rushed towards the center of the sports square. The appearance of several of them can be said to have solidified the atmosphere in the field. Aren't these girls too beautiful? Yes. This is the first time I have seen such beautiful girls. That boy is so lucky. He has 4 beauties around him. Don't you think about his strength? He has the strength of a 4th level evolver at such a young age. If you can have it, you will not lack beauties around you. In the final analysis, it's all because of strength. Luo Men and the rest of the Zhang family discussed in a low voice while dealing with the zombies. Obviously, they were all amazed by the looks and figures of Murengzu and the other 3. If Lin Fan had not shown the strength of a level 4 evolver just now, then at this time, Lin Fan would definitely be envied and hated by a group of people. But Lin Fan has already shown the strength of a level 4 evolver, which means that they can't find a place to criticize him even if they want to. After all, Lin Fan's strength is indeed completely overwhelming them, and he deserves to have such beauties to accompany him. The moment Zhang Yining saw Murengzu and the other 3, his eyes almost glowed. This was also the first time he met such a beautiful woman. Luo Zioxian's reaction was not much different from Zhang Yining's. 2 lights flashed in his eyes immediately, and even a touch of evil thoughts came into his mind. Facing beauties like Murengzu and the other 4, he felt that he would be sorry for the beauty and figures of Murengzu and the other 4 if he didn't have any thoughts. Only 4 teammates. Luo Beijing looked at Murengzu and the other 4 and asked. There is another one, Lin Fan said with a smile. It's a level 3 pet dog. Level 3 pet dog. Hearing this, the Thin Man and Luo Beijing were startled again. They looked over and saw that after Murengzu and the other 4, there was indeed a German Shepherd running out. They looked carefully at the color of Andy's eyes and soon confirmed that Andy was indeed a dog with level 3 strength. Which faction do you belong to? Luo Beijing asked curiously. We didn't join any faction. We just met after the Doomsday outbreak, and then we formed a small team to practice everywhere, Lin Fan answered seriously. The reason why he said this was to make the Thin Man and Luo Beijing want to recruit them. In this way, the Thin Man, Luo Beijing and others will relax their vigilance, and it will be easier for them to snatch the energy crystals. It was not beyond Lin Fan's expectation. After he said this, the Thin Man and Luo Beijing secretly thought in their hearts that if they could get them to join their respective factions, it would undoubtedly be a great achievement. However, the 2 of them could see through each other's thoughts, and it was impossible for them to say anything openly at this time, lest the relationship between the 2 sides be completely strained. In short, they just said that they needed help, and now Lin Fan is their best helper. No matter whether Lin Fan's strength is strong or weak among the level of level 4 evolvers, as long as Lin Fan joins, they will have the confidence to deal with this level 4 zombie. As for the ownership of the energy crystal, it will still be snatched by each person based on their ability at that time, and whoever can snatch it will own it. Okay, don't just stand there and watch, come and join our battle. The Thin Man glanced at Lin Fan and said in a deep voice. Okay, Lin Fan nodded. Without any further delay, he moved his body and rushed into the battle circle. Bang! Lin Fan punched the back of the level 4 zombie, and immediately there was an extremely dull sound. As expected, this punch on the level 4 zombie could not cause any damage to the level 4 zombie at all. After Lin Fan joined the battle, Murengzhu, Murengshan, and Mu Hongling also started to deal with the rest of the zombies. According to their previous protection, while the 4 of them were dealing with the zombies, Andy was looking for the 3-level zombies that had been dealt with before, and then took out the 3-level energy crystals from the heads of the 3-level zombies. Of course, at the beginning, Andy couldn't do it too obviously, and he still had to deal with the zombies first, so that he could eliminate the opponent's vigilance. Bang! 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 With the addition of Lin Fan to the 4th-level zombies, the battle situation was obviously different. Although Lin Fan had hidden a hand and did not use his superpowers, the strength he showed was still at the level of a 4th-level evolver. This made the Thin Man and Luo Beijing want to recruit Lin Fan to join their forces even more. Talents like Lin Fan are really rare. Which force can have him means that the strength of that force can develop better. This level 4 zombie is really powerful. With an attack data of 18, it hits me with great force. Fortunately, I have the defensive attribute, otherwise, this punch would hurt me for a while, Lin Fan thought secretly. For Lin Fan, the defensive attribute is very important. To give a simple example, even if his current data is not as good as the Thin Man and Luo Beijing, if he fights with the Thin Man and Luo Beijing, the Thin Man and Luo Beijing may not be able to hurt him. The defensive attribute can greatly enhance his ability to resist attacks. As time passed, Murengzhu and Murengshan got close together to deal with the zombies. After dealing with it for a while, Murengshan glanced at it and whispered, "Sister, there is a level 3 zombie over there. Let's slowly move towards it. After we kill it, we'll see if we can find an opportunity to collect the energy crystal directly. If we can, we'll collect it directly. If not, we'll let Andy come and collect it." Murengzhu also noticed the level 3 zombie that Murengshan mentioned. Based on her sense, the level 3 zombie should be at the late level 3. With such strength, it would be quite difficult for the 2 sisters to deal with it alone, but if the 2 sisters joined forces to deal with it, it would not be too difficult. Okay, let's go. Let's find an opportunity to slowly move towards it. Just don't show your intentions too obviously, Murengzhu nodded. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 486 Take 2 at a time. With Murengzhu's consent, Murengshan naturally did not hesitate anymore, and moved towards the level 3 zombie they had locked onto with Murengzhu. That level 3 zombie was a little stronger than them, but when the 2 sisters joined forces, coupled with their tacit cooperation, they could indeed deal with the level 3 zombie with ease. Moreover, when they dealt with it, they deliberately guided the level 3 zombie behind the pile of zombie corpses. In this way, with the cover of the pile of zombie corpses, fewer people would see what they were doing. Bang! Bang! Murengzhu and Murengshan's attacks continued to fall on the level 3 zombie, making 2 harsh and dull sounds. The level 3 zombie was circling between the 2 sisters. When attacking Murengzhu, Murengshan launched a fatal attack, forcing the level 3 zombie to stop. When attacking Murengshan, Murengzhu launched another fatal attack, with the same effect. This is mainly due to the fact that Murengzhu and Murengshan cooperated so well. If someone else were to do it, they might not be able to achieve this effect. After all, not everyone has such a high degree of tacit understanding with everyone. "Sister, I will attract its attack, and you take care of it." Murengshan quickly saw the opportunity. While she was talking, she deliberately moved closer to the 3rd-level zombie, as if she was actively giving the 3rd-level zombie the opportunity to attack her. Although the 3rd-level zombie had intelligence, it was not yet high enough. When it saw Murengshan approaching, it was fooled in an instant and attacked Murengshan desperately. Because, during the previous battle, it had never encountered such a good opportunity, and it felt that it must seize this opportunity. Facing the attack of the 3rd-level zombie, Murengshan suddenly stopped and prepared to retreat. At the same time, Murengzhu's delicate body flashed, and she appeared behind the 3rd-level zombie like lightning. A murderous intent appeared in her eyes. She waved her jade hand, and a dagger suddenly stabbed at the head of the 3rd-level zombie, accurately stabbing into the head of the 3rd-level zombie. Ka! There was only a sound of the skull breaking, and the head of the third-level zombie was pried open by Murinzu with a dagger, and was completely solved. At this moment, Murinzu's eyes and hands were quick. Taking advantage of the moment when the skull of the third-level zombie's head broke, she used the dagger to find the position of the third-level energy crystal, and quickly picked it out of the head of the third-level zombie. The moment the third-level energy crystal came out, Murinzu waved her jade hand and grabbed the third-level energy crystal in her hand at the fastest speed. At such a fast speed, it can be said that Zhang Yanping, Luo Xiaoshan and others may not be able to see clearly even if they stare at this side, not to mention that they have not been staring at this side. The most important thing is that Murinzu's movements were so smooth that no one would have thought that she would take out the level 3 energy crystal before the level 3 zombie fell to the ground. Murin Shan had her back to Murinzu just now, and she also did not see Murinzu's movements. After getting rid of the level 3 zombie, Murin Shan quickly came to Murinzu's side and whispered, "Sister, there are zombie corpses blocking us here, they should not be able to see us. Let's just take the level 3 zombie's energy crystal, we have taken it," Murinzu said. "Ah. When did you take it?" Murin Shan opened her mouth in surprise. Here, Murinzu spread out her jade hand, and a level 3 energy crystal lay quietly in her palm. Seeing the level 3 energy crystal in Murinzu's hand, Murin Shan opened her mouth so wide that she could almost fit an egg. She really did not expect Murinzu's movements to be so agile. After all, when she turned back, the level 3 zombie's corpse had just fallen to the ground. "I just used a dagger to pick out the level 3 energy crystal from its head, and caught it in one go, so that we won't be discovered when we go to pick it up," Murinzu whispered. "So that's how it is," Murin Shan suddenly realized it. "Okay, let's continue to deal with the next level 3 zombie. Try to get the level 3 energy crystal in this way when dealing with each level 3 zombie," Murinzu said. "Okay, sister," Murin Shan nodded. Just when the two sisters were about to lock on to the next target, Andy ran towards them. "Sister, look, Andy is here, it seems to have something in its mouth, it should be a level 3 energy crystal." Murin Shan glanced at Andy with her beautiful eyes and noticed that there was something in Andy's mouth. "Yeah, it should be," Murinzu nodded. Andy ran very fast, and in the blink of an eye he arrived in front of the two sisters. Then, Andy jumped and appeared in front of Murinzu, opened his mouth, and 2 level 3 energy crystals fell out. Murinzu had already made preparations. When she saw 2 level 3 energy crystals appear, she reached out and grabbed them. "Andy! Great job," Murin Shan gave Andy a thumbs up. She didn't expect Andy to get 2 level 3 energy crystals at once. Murinzu was also surprised. She originally thought that Andy could only get 1 level 3 energy crystal each time, but Andy got 2 level 3 energy crystals at once. This was a complete surprise. Hearing Murin Shan's praise, Andy was naturally very happy, but it knew very well that it couldn't stay here with Murin Shan and the others in the current situation. Therefore, after giving out the 2 level 3 energy crystals, it didn't stay any longer. It moved its forelegs and ran away, continuing to look for other level 3 zombie corpses to take energy crystals. "Sister, I think our harvest this time should be very good," Murin Shan said with a smile. It didn't take long for them to get 3 energy crystals. Such a harvest was indeed quite good. "Yes, especially with Andy searching in secret, the effect will be quite good," Murinzu nodded. Andy's actions were very convenient. Just as Lin Fan said, Andy's small target was not easy to be discovered. This was also the reason why Andy could seize 2 level 3 energy crystals at one time. Of course, Andy also wanted to improve its own work efficiency, otherwise it would be enough to take 1 level 3 energy crystal each time. After the voice fell, Murinzu's beautiful eyes swept through the scene and quickly locked on the next level 3 zombie, saying, "Xiao Shan, let's go over there, there is a level 3 zombie over there." Murin Shan also looked over there, and as expected, she saw the level 3 zombie that Murinzu mentioned. The other party's position was also not far from a pile of zombie corpses. When they dealt with it, they could still guide the other party to the back of the pile of zombie corpses. In this way, it would be much easier for them to seize the level 3 energy crystal. The two sisters did not waste any more time, and ran towards the level 3 zombie together, and quickly fought with a level 3 zombie. This battle between humans and zombies lasted for quite a while. Fortunately, the weakest of the people here were at the initial stage of the 3rd level evolvers. Therefore, everyone had good physical strength, otherwise, they would have collapsed long ago. Those girls, especially the one who looked only in her teens, were so strong. Who were they? Zhang Yanping occasionally glanced at Murong Shan, and was puzzled. From Murong Shan's appearance, anyone could tell that she was only in her teens. He really couldn't imagine how a young girl could have such strong strength. Luo Ziotian also had such doubts. Among the younger generation in Luocheng, he thought that his talent and strength were already very strong. However, the appearance of Lin Fan and others today made him feel inferior. It really fits the saying that there is no harm without comparison. Compared with Lin Fan and others, he felt that his talent and strength were nothing to be proud of. Chapter 487 Killing Level 4 Zombies. Lin Fan and his companions naturally did not pay attention to or care about the thoughts of Zhang Yanping, Luo Ziotian and others. Their goal was to deal with the zombies and then seize the energy crystals in the zombies. Murong Zhu, Murong Shan, Li Zihan, Mu Hongling and Andy were doing very well. As for Lin Fan, the situation changed when he, the Thin Man and Luo Beijing joined forces to deal with the 4th level zombies. Before, the Thin Man and Luo Beijing could not suppress the 4th level zombies. In other words, the Thin Man and Luo Beijing could not gain the upper hand without fully showing their true strength. But with the addition of Lin Fan, even if the two of them still did not fully show their true strength, the three of them could put the 4th level zombies at a disadvantage. Of course, they were at a disadvantage, and they still did not find a chance to attack the head of the 4th level zombie. However, it is worth mentioning that if this trend continues, it should not take long for the 4th level zombies to be completely killed by them. Bang! 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 The battle between the two sides was still going on fiercely. Lin Fan continued to attack the level 4 zombies. His fists landed on the bodies of the level 4 zombies. He found that this was also a way to temper his body, which could make his fists harder. Lin Fan's crazy attack made the Thin Man and Luo Beijing amazed. They had never expected that Lin Fan's energy was so vigorous. Even they could not do such a crazy thing. While Lin Fan and the other two were entangled with the level 4 zombies, Murong Zhu, Murong Shan, Li Zihan, Mu Hongling and Andy were still working very smoothly to seize the level 3 energy crystals. In this process, Andy undoubtedly made the greatest contribution, because most of the level 3 energy crystals were seized by it. Moreover, after Andy seized more times, it had gained experience. For example, at the beginning, it had to spend a little time searching for the specific location of the level 3 energy crystal after it broke the head of the level 3 zombie with one claw. But as the number of times it seized increased, now when it stepped down with one claw and broke the head of the 3rd level zombie, it could already step on the position of the 3rd level energy crystal with great precision. In this way, at the moment when the head of the 3rd level zombie was broken, it could take out the 3rd level energy crystal from the head of the 3rd level zombie. Then, it left at the fastest speed, and it would not be discovered by Zhang Yanping, Luo Ziotian and others. Until this moment, Zhang Yanping, Luo Ziotian and others did not notice the slightest trick. They still thought that Lin Fan and Murong Zhu and others really came here to experience and improve. In fact, it was not their fault that they did not find this problem. After all, even old masters like the Thin Man and Luo Beijing did not find the real purpose of Lin Fan and others. It can only be said that Lin Fan and others' disguise is really good, otherwise, they would never be able to conceal the Thin Man and Luo Beijing. Time passed quickly, and in a blink of an eye, it was evening. After several hours of fighting, the remaining zombies in the center of the sports plaza had been killed by Zhang Yanping, Luo Ziotian, Murong Zhu and others. A quick look showed that there were about 1,000 or 2,000 zombies left in the square, so there was no need to worry. Murong Shan appeared beside Murong Zhu and asked in a low voice, "Sister, from before to now, how many level 3 energy crystals have we got, including the 2 of us and the one Andy brought?" "I just checked, there are a total of 20, Murong Zhu replied. 20? That's still a lot. Murong Shan blinked and said, "Sister Zihan and Sister Hongling should have some too." "Well, that's for sure. After all, sometimes when Andy is not so close to us, the level 3 energy crystals he got are given to them," Murong Zhu said slowly. "In short, the level 3 energy crystals we harvested this time will definitely not be less than 30, haha, that's really a big harvest." Murong Shan laughed happily. Murong Zhu was also very happy. No less than 30 level 3 energy crystals, this number is quite good. Anyway, they have only been here for a few hours. They should be satisfied with such a harvest in a few hours. The battle over there will probably be over soon. Murong Zhu's beautiful eyes flashed. and she looked towards the battle circle on Lin Fan's side. Hearing Murengzu say this, Mureng Shen also looked at Lin Fan and others, and indeed saw that the battle of Lin Fan and others had reached the final stage. Lin Fan, the thin man, and Luo Beijing flashed back and forth beside the level 4 zombie, constantly attacking the level 4 zombie. The level 4 zombie seemed to be unable to cope with it. If it avoided the attacks of two of them, it would be attacked by the third person. Of course, by this time, the physical strength and energy of the thin man and Luo Beijing had been greatly consumed. After all, they had been fighting continuously from the beginning to now, and had never rested for several hours. Lin Fan naturally noticed this situation, and he wanted this effect. Originally, with his participation, he could have solved this level 4 zombie faster, but he also retained some strength, just deliberately delaying time so that the thin man and Luo Beijing would consume more. Only in this way can he have a greater advantage when snatching the level 4 energy crystal later. Brother Luo, we can give it a final blow. The thin man looked at Luo Beijing and said. Okay, Luo Beijing nodded. Now, with the cooperation of the three people, the 4th level zombie has been completely suppressed. There is really no need to delay any longer. If they find a suitable opportunity, they can completely wipe out the 4th level zombie. However, the two of them have their own ideas in their minds. They all want to grab the 4th level energy crystal the moment the 4th level zombie is eliminated. Whoever grabs it first will own it. Lin Fan saw through their thoughts. He kept an eye on the thin man and Luo Beijing's every move. At the same time, his mind was also running, acting on the 3 hidden weapons on his body. He must get the energy crystal of this 4th level zombie no matter what. Kill, the thin man and Luo Beijing shouted loudly, and the two of them stabbed the head of the 4th level zombie with the daggers in their hands at the same time. They had found the right opportunity this time, because at this moment, the 4th level zombie was attacking Lin Fan, and it was too late to avoid their attack. 2 daggers, one on the left and one on the right, successfully pierced into the head of the 4th level zombie, making a sound. The life of the 4th level zombie was also completely ended at this moment. Then, the thin man and Luo Beijing were both using daggers to fight for the energy crystal in the head of the 4th level zombie, trying to use the dagger to pick the energy crystal back in their direction. Lin Fan would naturally not give them such an opportunity. With a thought, the 3 hidden weapons that had been prepared flew out of his body at the same time. The steel needle attacked the thin man, the dart attacked Luo Beijing, and as for the dagger, it also fought for the energy crystal. What? The thin man and Luo Beijing had never expected that a hidden weapon would suddenly attack them, and the speed of the hidden weapon was very fast and the power was very strong. If they did not resist or dodge, and let the hidden weapon attack them, it would definitely cause them great damage. In that case, they would end up being seriously injured, which would be extremely disadvantageous to them. Therefore, at this time, no matter how much they wanted to get the 4th level energy crystal, they had to put away their thoughts to avoid the attacks of the steel needles and darts. While they were dodging the attacks of the steel needles and darts, Lin Fan controlled the dagger with his mind and hit them respectively. Only 2 crisp sounds were heard, and their daggers were shaken away. Chapter 488, Retreat begins. Ling. Ling. As the daggers of the thin man and Luo Beijing were knocked out, Lin Fan's mind moved again, and he continued to control his dagger to act on the 4th level energy crystal. Then, he picked up the 4th level energy crystal with a dagger, and it flew towards him, and he reached out and grabbed it in his hand. He glanced at it and saw that there were 4 horizontal bars in this 4th level energy crystal. It was a real 4th level. Moreover, the moment he got it, he could feel that the energy contained in the crystal was very rich. I think after he absorbs the energy in this crystal, his strength will be improved. In addition, with his training during this period, it shouldn't be a big problem for all data to improve a little. Lin Fan didn't waste any time and quickly put the 4th level energy crystal back into his pocket. It's you can actually control things, the ability to control objects remotely. At the same time, the thin man and Luo Beijing also reacted completely. They were just wondering where the steel needles and darts that attacked them came from, and then their daggers were knocked away. Then, they clearly saw that the 4th level energy crystal fell into Lin Fan's hands. At this point, if they still couldn't understand, it could only mean that their IQs were problematic. Do you think I'm just bored and come to help you deal with zombies? Lin Fan smiled and said, of course my purpose is the same as yours. I'm here for the energy crystals of the 4th level zombies, asshole. The thin man cursed angrily. How dare you play tricks on us, boy? Do you think you can get out? Luo Beijan's eyes darkened. Although he was surprised that Lin Fan had the ability to control objects remotely, he had to know that he hadn't shown his full strength just now. Whether I can take the 4th level energy crystal is not up to you, but up to me. If I want to take it, I can take it. If I don't want to take it, you have a chance, Lin Fan said lightly. He was going to say something to stimulate the Thin Man and Luo Beijan, so that they would be in a state of real anger. In this way, they would easily overlook some details when their heads got hot. Brother Luo, now the 4th level energy crystal has fallen into his hands. We have worked so hard for so long, and we must not become his wedding dress. The Thin Man took a deep breath, looked at Luo Beijan and said, why don't we join forces again, take him down first, and then decide the ownership of the 4th level energy crystal. What do you think? Okay, it's decided. Luo Beijan obviously had no objection, and nodded in agreement. The 4th level energy crystal in Lin Fan's hands was the same as in the head of a 4th level zombie for the two of them. So, they decided to join forces to take down Lin Fan first. Lin Fan had guessed this scene long before, and knew that the two guys would join forces. Do it. The Thin Man and Luo Beijan no longer hesitated, looked at each other, and the two of them went out together to attack Lin Fan. Facing the joint attack of the Thin Man and Luo Beijan, although Lin Fan was full of confidence, he would never be careless. With a thought, he controlled 3 hidden weapons to fight with the Thin Man and Luo Beijan. That kid actually snatched the 4th level energy crystal. Zhang Yanping clenched his palm into a fist, and the blue veins on his arm could be clearly seen. He never thought that the 4th level energy crystal would not fall into the hands of his 6th uncle, but was taken by Lin Fan. Luo Zai Ocean's mood was not much better either. The 4th level energy crystal had long been regarded as a treasure by him. He could not accept the fact that the 4th level energy crystal did not belong to him anyway. Sister, Murong Shan glanced at Lin Fan, and then quickly said, Brother Lin Fan has already started to tear his face and fight with him. We don't need to hide it anymore. Collect a few more 3rd level energy crystals and retreat. Yes, we can't help Lin Fan if we stay. We can only collect the 3rd level energy crystals and retreat. Murongzu nodded and said. She was a smart woman who could see the situation clearly. If they stayed here, especially if they were surrounded by Zhang Yanping, Luo Zai Ocean and others, they would undoubtedly fall into danger. At that time, not only would they not be able to help Lin Fan, but they would also distract Lin Fan. If they retreated, it would be easier for Lin Fan to evacuate alone. Thinking of this, Murongzu looked at Li Zihan and Mu Hongling and gave them a look. Li Zihan and Mu Hongling were also smart women, and they immediately understood the meaning of Murongzu's eyes. So, the 4 of them plus Andy started to go straight to the 3rd level zombie corpses on the ground that had not yet seized the energy crystals, and seized the energy crystals in the heads of the 3rd level zombies as quickly as possible. Look! They are collecting energy crystals. On the Zhang family side, everyone was concentrating on watching the battle between Lin Fan, the Thin Man and Luo Beijan, but one person noticed the actions of Murongzu and Andy from the corner of his eye and couldn't help but shouting. Hearing his shout, Zhang Yanping and Luo Zai Ocean sights suddenly shifted and locked onto Murongzu and Andy. Fuck, Zhang Yanping cursed, saying, stop them quickly, don't let them collect the 3rd level energy crystals, hurry up. Luo Zai Ocean also reacted, shouted, and rushed towards Murongzu and Andy with the Luoman people. Zhang Yanping did not hesitate at all, and those Zhang family members followed behind him, looking ferocious, as if they wanted to tear Murongzu and Andy into pieces. Murongzu and Andy ignored the anger of Zhang Yanping, Luo Zai Ocean and others, and they collected 5 3rd level energy crystals again at the fastest speed. Let's go! Murongzu waved her hand, and the 4 people and the dog turned and left. Long before, Lin Fan told them that if they accidentally got separated, they should meet at one place. That place was their default meeting place. Therefore, at this moment, they did not need to say anything more to Lin Fan. The best thing to do was to retreat quickly. Only in this way would they not bring more trouble to Lin Fan. You can't get away, chase them. Whoever lets them escape will be punished, Zhang Yanping and Luo Zai Ocean roared angrily. They did not want Murongzu and the other 4 to escape. First, Murongzu and the other 4 had bad behavior and took away some of their 3rd level energy crystals. Second, Murongzu and the other 4 were too beautiful. In their opinion, such beautiful women should of course stay and let them enjoy them. How could they let Murongzu and the other 4 leave? Yes. The people of the Zhang family and the Luo family answered in unison when they heard the roars of Zhang Anping and Luo Ziocean. Although they were chasing fast, Murenzhu and the other four and Andy were also retreating fast. In addition, there was a certain distance between them. Therefore, for a while, they could not catch up. Soon Murenzhu and the other four and Andy retreated outside the sports square. Keep chasing. We can't let them get away, Zhang Anping shouted. You're dreaming if you want to escape from under our noses. Luo Ziocean's eyes were filled with hatred. Their relentless pursuit brought a lot of pressure to Murenzhu and the other three. Mu Hongling looked back and found that the distance was getting closer. If they continued like this, even if they could get to the meeting place mentioned by Lin Fan, Zhang Anping, Luo Ziocean and others would know about it. After thinking about it, Mu Hongling couldn't help but say, you three take Andy and go first. I'll stop them and delay them for a while. Are you alone? Murenzhu frowned. Only me, Mu Hongling nodded. Chapter 489 Breaking Out of the Encirclement. Although the four of them were all level 3 evolvers, Mu Hongling was always stronger than them in terms of strength. When it came to resisting and delaying things, having more people was not a good thing, not to mention that Murenzhu, Murengshan, and Li Zihan were not strong enough to help delay time. Woof woof. At this moment, Andy barked. Mu Hongling glanced at Andy and asked, Andy, do you want to delay them with me? Andy nodded his head. Before Mu Hongling could speak, Murenzhu said, yes, Hongling, Andy can go with you. Andy's strength is not worse than ours, and he is also very fast. With him working with you, we can be more assured. Murenzhu was telling the truth. Andy's various data had reached 15, officially entering the peak of the level 3 evolvers, and his strength was indeed stronger than them. Yes, Sister Hongling, if you want to delay time, let Andy go with you, otherwise we won't agree, Murengshan said. Li Zihan also spoke to persuade them. Okay, Mu Hongling nodded and said, then Andy and I will delay time together. You go to that place and wait for us first. Once we get rid of them, Andy and I will come to find you immediately, okay? Be careful, Murenzhu nodded and reminded. Don't worry, Mu Hongling said. After the voice fell, Mu Hongling looked at Andy and said to Andy, let's go, Andy, let's stop them. Don't fight them head on. Just hold them back, woof woof. Andy barked twice again, indicating that it understood. Mu Hongling and Andy did not waste any more time. One person and one dog turned around and returned to Zhang Anping, Luo Ziocean and others who were chasing behind. Dare to come back, Zhang Anping saw Mu Hongling and Andy rushing towards them, and couldn't help but be slightly stunned. He really didn't expect Mu Hongling and Andy to do this. I guess they are here to stop us, Luo Ziocean's eyes condensed and he said in a deep voice. Stop us? Zhang Anping smiled disdainfully and said, they think they can stop us? How naive, take them down first. The three in front can't run far, Luo Ziocean also smiled disdainfully and said, what's more, with them in our hands, the three will also show up. Okay, let's do it, Zhang Anping nodded, indicating that he had no objection. At this time, he and Luo Ziocean were completely on the same front. They would not care about whether there was any grudge before. Their goal was to take down Mu Hongling and others and not give them a chance to escape. Bang! Bang! Mu Hongling rushed forward and launched a counterattack. Zhang Anping shouted, you continue to chase the three in front first, don't let them have a chance to disappear in your sight, you follow them too. Luo Ziocean said the same thing. Yes, the people from the Zhang family and the Luo family nodded in response. Woof woof. However, just when they were about to chase Murenzhu, Murengshan and Li Zihan, Andy appeared in front of them. Damn it. This dead dog still wants to attack us, kill it. It just so happens that I haven't eaten the meat of an evolved dog. Yes, kill it, and we'll taste it tonight. The people of Zhang's family and Luomen looked at Andy with murderous eyes. In their eyes, Andy's behavior of blocking them was purely to die, and it was impossible to have any impact on them. However, what they didn't expect was that Andy's strength was already at the peak of the 3rd level evolver. What's more, Andy didn't come to fight with them for real, but just wanted to delay them. Therefore, during the battle, Andy retreated as the main method, delaying them to buy more time from Murenzhu and the other two. It must be said that Mu Hongling and Andy were still very powerful, and the two of them successfully delayed a group of people. Murenzhu, Murengshan and Li Zihan took advantage of this time to run to the corner and quickly disappeared from everyone's sight. Even though they knew that Murenzhu and the other two were heading to the left front, No one knew if they would suddenly change direction after they disappeared from their sight. Damn it! They still ran away, Zhang Yanping yelled. Don't worry, it's the same if we leave this woman and that dog behind first, Luo Ziocean was calmer. Because, the escape of Murenzhu and the other two was already an established fact, and regret could not change it. In this case, they should naturally do the current things well first, and leaving Mu Hongling and Andy behind was the kingly way. Hearing this, Zhang Yanping nodded and said, we should not hold back, and attack with all our strength. We must not let this woman and that dog get away again, okay? Luo Ziocean had no objection to Zhang Yanping's proposal. Then, the two of them no longer held back and attacked Mu Hongling with all their strength. Mu Hongling, like Andy, did not aim to really fight, nor to defeat Zhang Yanping and Luo Ziocean, but to delay time. When she saw Murenzhu and the other two successfully leave, she was already thinking about her and Andy's retreat. She was very fast, and Andy was also very fast. It would not be a big problem for her and Andy to retreat. Andy, come to my side, Mu Hongling shouted to Andy while dealing with Zhang Yanping and Luo Ziocean. Hearing Mu Hongling's voice, Andy barked and approached Mu Hongling without hesitation. Let's go. After Andy came over, Mu Hongling waved her jade hand and led Andy to retreat. Want to leave? Luo Ziocean sneered. Dream on, Luo Ziocean. Zhang Yanping and the rest of the people surrounded Mu Hongling and Andy together, trying to surround Mu Hongling and Andy in the middle. Andy, Mu Hongling shouted and gave Andy a look. Andy completely understood what Mu Hongling meant. That was Mu Hongling asking him to break out to the left together. The man and the dog ran to the right at a very fast speed without hesitation. The area on the right was the weakest area of their encirclement. It would be easier to break out from here than from other directions. Stop them, Zhang Yanping shouted. At all costs, Luo Ziocean shouted. The four level 3 evolvers on the right gritted their teeth and prepared to fight Mu Hongling and Andy. Bang! Bang! Mu Hongling rushed forward, clenched her jade hands into fists, and punched out quickly. The two level 3 evolvers, facing Mu Hongling's attack, also clenched their fists to resist. The collision of fists suddenly caused a dull sound. Then, Zhang Yanping, Luo Ziocean and others clearly saw that the two level 3 evolvers who were blocking the way flew backwards like a kite with a broken string. They flew a full 10 meters before falling to the ground, and then rolled on the ground for several rounds before stopping. There was no way. Those two people were not at the peak of the third level evolvers, but only at the middle stage of the third level evolvers. With such strength, even if they joined forces, they could not stop Mu Hongling's attack. At the same time, Andy also rushed to the other two third-level evolvers. The two of them locked their eyes on Andy and stretched out their hands to grab Andy. Andy's reaction was faster than theirs. He stomped his forelegs on the ground and jumped up. In an instant, he jumped to their shoulders. Andy's feet stepped on their shoulders again. Before they could react completely, his whole body jumped out again, and fell back to the ground in a blink of an eye, successfully passing through their encirclement. Andy, let's go. When Mu Hongling saw Andy rushing out, there was a faint smile on her pretty face. She waved at Andy and left quickly with Andy without any delay. Damn it, Zhang Yanping couldn't help but yelled angrily, useless trash. Even four of them can't stop the two of them. What use are you? Luo Ziocean's face was also extremely pale. He didn't expect that even with so many people taking action, Mu Hongling and Andy still broke through. Chapter 491 Left Behind. If this kind of thing gets out, they really won't have any face to continue. The four people who were called trash by Zhang Yanping felt extremely wronged. Although the four of them didn't stop Mu Hongling and Andy just now, didn't Zhang Yanping and Luo Ziocean fail to take Mu Hongling down when they dealt with her together? If they were trash, wouldn't Zhang Yanping and Luo Ziocean also be trash? Of course, the four of them only dared to imagine such words in their hearts, but didn't dare to say them in front of Zhang Yanping and Luo Ziocean. They knew very well what kind of temper and personality Zhang Yanping and Luo Ziocean had. If they said such words, they knew that their fate would be very miserable. Keep chasing. Zhang Yanping and Luo Ziocean looked at each other, and then led everyone to continue chasing in the direction where Mu Hongling and Andy fled. Unfortunately, their speed was no longer as fast as Mu Hongling and Andy's. When they chased to that street, they found that they could no longer see the shadows of Mu Hongling and Andy. Fuck. They ran away. Zhang Yanping's face was extremely livid, and his fists were clenched together. They chased after so many people but couldn't leave any of Mu Hongling and the others behind. It was really embarrassing. Fortunately, that kid can't get away. Luo Ziocean's eyes were fixed and he said slowly. The kid he was talking about was undoubtedly Lin Fan. Yes, Zhang Yanping nodded and said, with my sixth uncle and your second uncle taking action, that kid will definitely not be able to escape. He is the strongest person in their team. As long as he is in our hands, we don't have to worry about the 4 women not showing up. When we use that kid as a threat, the 4 women will definitely come to us obediently. Hearing this, Luo Ziocean also nodded and said, that's right. When they fall into our hands, I will kill them, 2 each. Zhang Yanping looked at Luo Ziocean and asked. No problem, Luo Ziocean nodded again. Okay, then let's go back now, Zhang Yanping said. Anyway, Mu Hongsu and the others had been lost by them. Even if they continued to stay here, it would be useless. They might as well go back and see the situation in the sports plaza. Okay, let's go. Luo Ziocean waved his hand and walked in front with the people of Luomen. Seeing this, Zhang Yanping did not delay and followed closely with the people of the Zhang family. Sports plaza, central area. The air here was filled with the smell of zombies' rotten blood, and the ground was covered with zombie corpses. However, this did not affect the battle between Lin Fan, the Thin Man, and Luo Beijing. The 3 of them were still fighting fiercely in this area. What made the Thin Man and Luo Beijing speechless was that Lin Fan's ability to control objects through the air was too powerful. When Lin Fan kept controlling 3 hidden weapons, they couldn't even get close. Because when they attacked Lin Fan would control the hidden weapons to attack them from the side or from behind. The speed and power of the hidden weapons were very large. They didn't dare to let the hidden weapons attack them, otherwise they would definitely cause them great damage. Therefore, every time they attacked, they were forced to interrupt. You have already consumed too much physical strength and energy just now. At this time, you can't keep me here with your current state. Lin Fan glanced at the Thin Man and Luo Beijing. A disdainful smile appeared on his face, and he said deliberately mockingly. Hearing Lin Fan's words, the Thin Man and Luo Beijing's faces couldn't help but change. When they dealt with the 4th level zombies before, they consumed a lot of physical strength and energy. Although Lin Fan also consumed a lot, this time Lin Fan used his supernatural powers to deal with them, not his body's functions. In this regard, the Thin Man and Luo Beijing can't compare with Lin Fan. You can't leave today, Luo Beijing said coldly. You said I can't leave, so I can't leave. Lin Fan smiled faintly and said, if I leave, won't you be angry to death here, brother Luo? Don't waste your words with him. If the 2 of us can't keep him here today, then we both have no face, the Thin Man said in a deep voice. They are all well-known figures in Luocheng. If they can't even deal with Lin Fan when the 2 of them join forces, it would be very embarrassing. Lin Fan still had a disdainful smile on his face. He controlled the hidden weapons with his mind and continued to attack the Thin Man and Luo Beijing. The Thin Man and Luo Beijing are indeed level 4 evolvers. Even if they control the hidden weapons, it is still a difficult task to wipe them out. Therefore, Lin Fan did not intend to wipe them out. He just needed to stop them. He calculated the time and felt that it was almost time. Murengzu and the others had successfully escaped. Even if the Thin Man and Luo Beijing could not catch up with him, but chased Murengzu and the others instead, they might not be able to find Murengzu and the others. Thinking of this, Lin Fan no longer hesitated. With a move of his mind, he controlled the hidden weapons and launched a new round of fierce attacks. The speed of the hidden weapon attack was very fast, and it was difficult for the Thin Man and Luo Beijing to deal with it. Especially under such a fierce attack, the 2 of them could only keep resisting and had no chance to fight back against Lin Fan. When the hidden weapon forced the Thin Man and Luo Beijing back about 6 or 7 meters, Lin Fan's eyes focused and decided not to delay with them any longer. Whoosh! 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 He turned around, and his mind moved again. The 3 hidden weapons made a sound of breaking through the air and flew back to his side. Then he burst into the fastest speed and ran towards the gate of the sports square. We can't let him escape. Seeing Lin Fan turn around and leave, the Thin Man and Luo Beijing's faces were extremely ugly. The 2 looked at each other, without any hesitation, and also chased after Lin Fan at the fastest speed. It was not until this time that Zhang Yanping and Luo Ziocean, who had chased out before, returned here. They originally thought that when they returned here, they would definitely see the scene of the Thin Man and Luo Beijing taking down Lin Fan. Unexpectedly, they saw Lin Fan fleeing towards another gate, with the Thin Man and Luo Beijing chasing him frantically. This made them all feel very difficult to accept. A young man in his 20s could actually escape from the Thin Man and Luo Beijing? If this were to get out, how would the Thin Man and Luo Beijing survive in Luochang in the future? You know, the reputation of the two of them in Luochang is not small at all. Let's go, let's follow and see the specific situation. Zhang Yanping made a decision immediately. Luo Ziocean had no objection and nodded. The group chased after Lin Fan and the other two. Unfortunately, their speed was too far behind that of Lin Fan and the other two. When they just chased to another gate of the sports plaza and went out, the figures of Lin Fan and the other two had already disappeared from their sight. Boy, you can't escape. This is Luocheng, we have the final say here, no matter where you escape to, you will be caught by us. The Thin Man stared at Lin Fan's back and shouted angrily. Lin Fan naturally ignored the Thin Man's words, and he continued to run forward at the fastest speed. It was at this time that the Thin Man gradually realized that his speed was not as fast as Luo Beijing. In other words, Luo Beijing would burst out his true full strength at this time, so he would definitely open up a gap in distance between him and the Thin Man. Luo Beijing did not care whether the Thin Man could keep up. He locked his eyes on Lin Fan and wanted to snatch the 4th level energy crystal from Lin Fan. After about 10 minutes, the Thin Man was completely left behind, and only Luo Beijing continued to chase Lin Fan. Lin Fan looked back and saw that the Thin Man had fallen behind. He moved his mind and controlled the 3 stones on the roadside to attack Luo Beijing from 3 different directions. Facing the attack of these 3 stones, Luo Beijing did not dare to be careless at all. He could only slow down to dodge and resist. He could not let the stones really hit him. After all, he did not have the defensive attributes like Lin Fan. Chapter 491, Despair. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The stone flew towards Luo Beijing with a sound of breaking through the air. After all, Luo Beijing was a level 4 evolver with good data. Seeing the trajectory of the 3 stones, he knew that he had to take measures to slow down. Otherwise, if he didn't slow down, he would definitely collide with the 3 stones. After slowing down, his eyes flashed and he dodged to the side, dodging one of the stones first. Then, he swung the weapon in his hand and hit another stone, knocking it out as well. Finally, he bent his body down suddenly, and the 3rd stone flew over his back. In this way, he dodged the attacks of the 3 stones perfectly. Since the distance the 3 stones flew out was more than 10 meters, Lin Fan could not control this distance range. So, Lin Fan swept his eyes and locked onto the other 3 things on the roadside. Under his mind control, these 3 things attacked Luo Beijing again. Asshole, Luo Beijing was so angry that his face turned pale. This time, the attack would force him to slow down to resist. After doing this several times in a row, he found that the distance between him and Lin Fan had been pulled to about 30 meters. Of course, at such a distance, even if Lin Fan controlled something to attack him, the power would be much weaker. However, at a distance of 30 meters, Lin Fan had already appeared at the next corner. Goodbye. Lin Fan turned his head slightly, glanced at Luo Beijing, made a goodbye gesture to Luo Beijing, and then without any hesitation, he flashed to the other side of the corner and disappeared from Luo Beijing's sight. There is no doubt that Lin Fan's last goodbye gesture was full of absolute ridicule for Luo Beijing, making Luo Beijing's teeth itch with hatred. He quickly rushed to the corner and glanced around. Not to mention seeing Lin Fan's figure, he didn't even see a ghost. In other words, he completely lost Lin Fan. If he wanted to find Lin Fan again, it would be as difficult as finding a needle in a haystack. Bang! In a state of extreme anger, Luo Beijing clenched his fist and punched the street lamp in front of him. With a bang, the street lamp was directly broken by him. After about half a minute, the Thin Man also ran up from behind. Seeing Luo Beijing standing here alone, the Thin Man understood the situation without asking. It was obvious that Luo Beijing had lost Lin Fan. Brother Luo, since we have lost him, we don't have to waste time here. Let's go back to the sports square first. After all, there are still energy crystals of level 3 zombies there, the Thin Man said. Now the energy crystals of the level 4 zombies have been taken away by Lin Fan. If they can't catch up with Lin Fan, they naturally can't take the level 4 energy crystals back. But there are still energy crystals of level 3 zombies there, which they can't waste. Hearing the words of the Thin Man, Luo Beijing nodded and said, let's go back and take a look first. With this decision, the two of them didn't waste any more time and began to return to the sports square. In the central area of the sports square, Zhang Yanping, Luo Zai-Ocean and others were here. They will definitely catch up, we just need to stay here and wait. Zhang Yanping took a deep breath, glanced at the scene, and said, let's divide the level 3 energy crystals here first. Okay, then divide the level 3 energy crystals first. Luo Zai-Ocean nodded. Before, there were about 50 level 3 zombies here. And they took away about 6 of them at the end, which means there are 44 left. Zhang Yanping's eyes flashed, and he said, we each get 22. Do you have any objection? Okay, it's very reasonable. Luo Zai-Ocean nodded again. In dealing with the zombies, both sides have contributed about the same amount of effort, and it is reasonable to divide the energy crystals of the level 3 zombies equally, and there is nothing inappropriate. Seeing Luo Zai-Ocean nod, Zhang Yanping couldn't help but say, okay, then divide it like this. Everyone goes to find the bodies of the level 3 zombies and take out the level 3 energy crystals. Yes, after the people of the Zhang family and the people of the Luo family responded, they started to act at the same time. During the search, the people of the Zhang family and the people of Luomen soon discovered a very serious problem. Master, a 30-year-old man from the Zhang family looked up at Zhang Yanping, as if he wanted to say something but stopped. What's wrong? Zhang Yanping looked over and asked. Many of these level 3 zombies have no energy crystals, the man replied. What did you say? No energy crystals? Zhang Yanping's face changed. Luo Zai-Ocean, who was standing next to him, couldn't help but change his face. Zai-Ocean, I really didn't find any energy crystals. It seems that someone took them away. A person from Luomen also spoke to Luo Zai-Ocean. This person is considered an elder of Luo Zai-Ocean, so he can call Luo Zai-Ocean by his name directly. Took away. Luo Zai-Ocean's expression suddenly became extremely solemn, and then he suddenly thought of something and said angrily, it must be taken away by them. You mean those women? Zhang Yanping frowned. They did take away the level 3 energy crystals at the last moment, but they only took a few. We killed so many level 3 zombies, could it be that they took away all the energy crystals? Found it? At this time, someone took out an energy crystal from the head of a level 3 zombie. Keep looking for it, Luo Zai-Ocean ordered immediately. Then, the group of people started looking again. 10 minutes passed. When Zhang Yanping and Luo Zai-Ocean saw the 13 level 3 energy crystals in front of them, it can be said that their noses were crooked with anger. They just killed 50 level 3 zombies, and they should have 50 level 3 energy crystals. However, now there are only 13 level 3 energy crystals in front of them. In other words, there are 37 less. Damn it. They really took it, Zhang Yanping cursed with a livid face. They came for the energy crystals from the beginning. They must have secretly taken them while we were dealing with the zombies. Especially the dog. It has a small target, fast movement speed, and agility. It is estimated that it stole a lot. Fuck. We actually helped them. Luo Zai-Ocean was also extremely angry. They worked hard to deal with the zombies, thinking that they could have a good harvest here, but they didn't expect that they would help Lin Fan and others in the end. They only got 13 of the 53rd level energy crystals, almost only 1/4. Seeing the angry state of Zhang Yanping and Luo Zai-Ocean, the people of the Zhang family and the Luo family dared not even breathe, for fear of angering these two people. At this time, the thin man and Luo Beijing came back from outside. Sixth uncle, Zhang Yanping shouted. Second uncle, Luo Zai-Ocean also shouted. The thin man and Luo Beijing walked up to them, and the latter asked, have you counted the level 3 energy crystals? Second uncle, we've been fooled, Luo Zai-Ocean pondered. What fooled you? Luo Beijing asked. Luo Zai-Ocean quickly told them that there were only 13 level 3 energy crystals. After hearing what Luo Zai-Ocean said, the thin man and Luo Beijing were equally furious. They never thought that 3/4 of the level 3 energy crystals would fall into the hands of Lin Fan and his men. These people are so abominable. The thin man clenched his fists and almost roared. Not only did they take so many level 3 energy crystals, but they also took the level 4 energy crystals. We must not let them go like this. We must find them even if we have to dig up the entire city of Luo. Sixth uncle, you said, the level 4 energy crystals were taken away by that kid. Zhang Yanping stared at the thin man in amazement, almost thinking that he had heard wrong. Yes. He took it away, and we didn't get it back, the thin man nodded. After all, the level 4 energy crystal was not on their hands, so they had no choice but to admit it. Now, Zhang Yanping and Luo Zai-Ocean were even more disheartened. Chapter 492 This child cannot stay. Originally, they thought that even though a lot of the third-level energy crystals were taken away by Murangzu and her friends, the Thin Man and Luo Beijing would definitely take back the fourth-level energy crystals. They never thought that the Thin Man and Luo Beijing would chase Lin Fan, but Lin Fan escaped. This means that the Thin Man and Luo Beijing also returned empty-handed, without any benefits. Their biggest purpose in coming here was to get the fourth-level energy crystals. Now, the fourth-level energy crystals are gone, and there is only a quarter of the third-level energy crystals. The phrase losing both a wife and the army is the most appropriate to describe their current situation. That kid has the ability to control objects through the air. Sooner or later, he will be a disaster. He must be eliminated. Luo Beijing's eyes flashed with a strong murderous intent. For some reason, he always felt that Lin Fan was an unstable factor and thought that Lin Fan might cause great obstacles to the development of their Luoman. Well, that supernatural power is too evil, and we don't know what their purpose is in coming to Luocheng. If they want to stay in Luocheng to develop, it will definitely pose a threat to us, the Thin Man said. In this case, Brother Zheng, after we go back, we should gather people to search for them. We must search them out and not give them the opportunity to develop. What do you think? Luo Beijing asked. I agree. People like this must be eliminated, the Thin Man nodded. Then let's distribute the level 3 energy crystals now, Luo Beijing said. If there were still level 4 energy crystals, they would definitely not be able to talk about the distribution issue so peacefully, and they would definitely fight for it. But now that the level 4 energy crystals have all fallen into Lin Fan's hands, there are only 13 level 3 energy crystals. There is no need for them to become enemies for this little thing. 13 level 3 energy crystals, we want 6 and you want 7. What do you think, Brother Luo? The Thin Man took the initiative to say. Okay, no problem, Luo Beijing also nodded. Hearing the Thin Man's words, Zhang Yanping couldn't help but show a trace of doubt on his face. Shouldn't the distribution of level 3 energy crystals be 7 on their side and 6 on Luoman's side? How come it became 6 on their side and 7 on Luoman's side? For a moment, he even suspected that the Thin Man had accidentally said the opposite. However, at this time, he was too embarrassed to bring it up. No matter what, the Thin Man was his sixth uncle, and he still had to show due respect. Soon, the 13 energy crystals were distributed. Brother Zheng, then we'll say goodbye here. After we go back, arrange for people to search for them. Whoever finds them first will send someone to notify them, Luo Beijing said. Okay, the Thin Man nodded again. Let's go. Luo Beijing looked at Luo Zai-Ocean, and without wasting any more time, he waved his hand and led everyone away. After they walked out of the sports square, Zhang Yanping could not help but ask, Sixth uncle, why did they take 7 and we took 6 when distributing the third-level energy crystals? I wanted to ask you just now, but I didn't ask when I thought they were all here. After all, in Zhang Yanping's opinion, the Thin Man was stronger than Luo Beijing. Hearing Zhang Yanping's question, the Thin Man took a deep breath and said slowly, at the beginning, I didn't realize that Luo Beijing was stronger than me, but until the end, when he and I chased that kid, I found that he was stronger than me and I was not his opponent. What? Sixth uncle, you said you are not Luo Beijing's opponent. Zhang Yanping's face suddenly showed a deep look of astonishment. He didn't expect that the Thin Man couldn't beat Luo Beijing. Yes, this is the fact, the Thin Man nodded. He would not deny this fact if he was not as strong as Luo Beijing. Zhang Yanping was still shocked. The Thin Man glanced at Zhang Yanping and said, that's why I took the initiative to say that they want 7 level 3 energy crystals and we want 6. After all, if we really start fighting, they will have the upper hand and we won't have any advantage. Zhang Yanping accepted it. After a moment, he suddenly thought of something and said, Sixth uncle, if that's the case, it's actually a good thing that the level 4 energy crystal was taken away by that kid, because, if it wasn't taken away by that kid, the level 4 energy crystal would basically fall into the hands of Luoman's people, and then Luo Zai-Ocean's strength would be the first to be promoted to the level of a level 4 evolver. Hearing this, the Thin Man was stunned for a moment, then smiled and said, yes, that's indeed the case. My strength is not as good as Luo Beijing. Even if I compete with him for the level 4 energy crystal, I will never be able to win over him. In this way, the level 4 energy crystal will fall into their hands. So, if you think about it this way, it's better for the level 4 energy crystal to be taken away by that kid than to be given to Luo Zai-Ocean. Yes, If Luo Ocean is promoted to the 4th level of the Evolver first, it will not be a good thing for our Zhang family. We would rather he be promoted later, Zhang Yanping said slowly. However, to be honest, that kid's talent and strength are indeed very strong. Coupled with the supernatural power of that evildoer, if nothing unexpected happens and he is allowed to grow freely, I don't know how powerful he will be in the future. The thin man took a deep breath and pondered. Such a person should either not be offended, or must be eliminated if offended. Obviously, we have accumulated contradictions and conflicts with him before, which is considered to be offending him, then we must get rid of him. If we don't get rid of him, he will get rid of us sooner or later. When he grows up, our Zhang family will definitely not be his opponent. This is the conclusion drawn by the thin man after fighting with Lin Fan. Well, Uncle Six, after we go back, you and I will go find Grandpa. We will tell him what happened today so that he can arrange people to search for that kid. We must find him while he is still in Luocheng and not give him a chance to leave Luocheng, Zhang Yanping said with a serious face. Putting aside the fact that they had offended Lin Fan, young people have a strong sense of comparison. Lin Fan's talent and strength are much stronger than his, so he naturally doesn't want to see Lin Fan grow up. Okay, let's go back now, the thin man nodded, and then the group of them didn't waste any more time, turned around and left the sports plaza, and returned to the Zhang family. After returning to the Zhang family, Zhang Yanping and the thin man went to see the head of the Zhang family together and told him everything. After hearing what they said, the face of the Zhang family master could not help but change, and he murmured, I didn't expect there is such a powerful young man. We can't keep him, absolutely can't keep him. Arrange people to search for him immediately. We must find him and get rid of him no matter what. Yes, the thin man and Zhang Yanping nodded in response. With the permission of the master, they naturally had nothing to hesitate and immediately made arrangements. Of course, apart from the Zhang family, after Luo Ocean and Luo Beijing returned to Luomen, they also went to find the master of Luomen. After reporting the matter, the master of Luomen did not change his expression, but his tone was very solemn. This boy can't stay. These 5 simple words can show how strong the master of Luomen's killing intention towards Lin Fan is. Just as they thought, if they didn't offend Lin Fan, it wouldn't matter, but since they had offended him, Lin Fan showed such a strong talent and growth potential. Such a person has become a thorn in their eyes and a thorn in their flesh. If they don't get rid of him, they will undoubtedly be unable to sleep and eat. Master, I will arrange for someone to search for him right now, Luo Beijing asked respectfully. Arrange it immediately, the sooner the better, and don't give him a chance to leave Luocheng, the master of Luomen ordered. Yes, Luo Beijing responded in turn to make arrangements. After Luo Beijing left, the master of Luomen looked at Luo Ocean and said, Ocean, work hard to improve. As I said, when you become a 4th level evolver, the position of the young master of Luomen will be yours. Yes, master, I will work hard, Luo Ocean nodded seriously. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 493 Absorbing Level 4 Energy Crystals. Murin Zhu, Murin Shan and Li Zihan were staying in a factory. This factory was the place Lin Fan had agreed to meet them at before. If they got separated, they would meet here. Murin Shan kept looking at the factory gate. After a long while, she couldn't help but say, it's been so long, why haven't Sister Hongling and Andy come back yet? Aren't they in trouble? Although Murin Zhu and Li Zihan were also worried, they knew very well that they couldn't go back to look for them at this time. Going back to look for them, let alone whether they could find them, even if they could, they couldn't help much. So, staying here and waiting was what they should do. Murin Zhu reached out and touched Murin Shan's hair, and said comfortingly, Hongling and Andy are both strong. They may not be able to defeat those people, but if they leave, those people can't keep them and Andy. Xiao Shan, don't worry too much. I believe she and Andy will come back safely, Li Zihan nodded at the side. She also believed that Mu Hongling and Andy would come back. After hearing Murin Zhu's comfort, Murin Shan's worries were reduced a little. Soon, a man and a dog appeared at the gate of the factory. They are back, Murin Zhu and the other two looked over and saw Mu Hongling and Andy walking in from the gate. Mu Hongling and Andy came to them quickly. They got rid of them and didn't catch up, Mu Hongling said with a smile. When she and Andy retreated, they didn't run directly to the factory, but ran in another direction for a while. After making sure that Zhang Yanping, Luo Ziocean and others really didn't catch up, she and Andy changed direction and came to the factory. Only in this way can they be 100% sure that they will not be followed. As long as you come back safely, it's fine. Murengzu breathed a sigh of relief. Where's Lin Fan? Hasn't he come back yet? Mu Hongling glanced and found that there was no sign of Lin Fan. Not yet. Murengzu shook her head and said, Lin Fan is facing 2 level 4 evolvers, and both of them are quite powerful. Even if he has the ability to control objects remotely, it will probably take some time to get rid of them. Brother Lin Fan will definitely come back, Murenshan said in a firm tone. She was even more confident in Lin Fan's strength. Mu Hongling and Li Zihan looked at each other and nodded. By the way, this is the level 3 energy crystal I got before. Mu Hongling smiled slightly and took out the level 3 energy crystals from her body. There were a total of 8. 8, Murengzu glanced at the level 3 energy crystals that Mu Hongling took out, then smiled and said, we just counted the number we have, and there are 29, with your 8, that's 37, there are a total of 50 level 3 zombies, and we took away the energy crystals of 37 zombies. I guess the people from Luomin and Zhang family will be so angry that they will vomit blood. Murenshan chuckled and said, it's a pity that we can't see them angry. Murenshan said this, and Murengzu, Li Zihan and Mu Hongling all laughed. Then, Li Zihan added, we killed 3 level 3 zombies before and got 3 energy crystals. If you add them all up, it's equivalent to 40 level 3 energy crystals. We have such a big harvest just after coming to Luocheng. It's great. No wonder the training base chose Luocheng as the place to practice. It seems that there is a reason. Murenshan sighed. This is indeed a good place. Li Zihan nodded slightly. Just as Li Zihan finished speaking, a figure appeared at the factory gate again. Murengzu, Murenshan, Li Zihan, Mu Hongling and Andy all looked towards the factory gate and saw Lin Fan walking towards them. Lin Fan quickly walked back to them, and Murenshan immediately greeted him and said, Brother Lin Fan, we knew you would come back safely. Lin Fan smiled slightly and said, of course. Then he added, the main reason is that the strength of those 2 people is not bad. I estimate that they are both masters in Luomin and Zhang family. Their combat effectiveness cannot be measured by ordinary 4th level evolvers, especially the one in Luomin, who is stronger than the one in Zhang family, but fortunately, I have superpowers. I used my superpowers to control things to launch attacks, and gradually distanced myself from him, and then I got rid of him. If I didn't have superpowers, it would be really difficult to deal with him. Hearing what Lin Fan said, Mu Hongling sighed and said, your superpower of controlling objects through the air is indeed very evil. Having such a superpower in your hand is simply equivalent to having an extra life-saving trump card. This is indeed it. Lin Fan nodded and said, by the way, how many 3rd level energy crystals have you harvested? Have you counted them? We have counted them. We have obtained a total of 37 level 3 energy crystals, Murengzu responded. 37? That's pretty good. It's more than I thought. Lin Fan smiled and said, add the 3 we got before, that's 40. As he spoke, Lin Fan took out the 3 level 3 energy crystals from his body. 40 energy crystals, 8 for each of you 5, just evenly divided, Lin Fan said with a smile. Yes, Murengzu, Murenshan, Li Zihan, Mu Hongling and Andy naturally had no objection. They were a team, and when distributing things, they should be as fair as possible. They can't favor one over the other, otherwise the team will lack cohesion. Murengzu quickly distributed the 40 level 3 energy crystals. I took a look at this factory, it should be relatively safe. Let's absorb the energy crystals here. Lin Fan looked around and said, it just so happens that the previous battle also consumed a lot of our energy. Absorbing the energy in the crystals to recover is also a good choice. Okay, Murengzu and the other 4 and Andy also had no objection to this. The 5 people and the dog walked into a room in the factory. Lin Fan reached into his pocket and took out the 4th level energy crystal. Brother Lin Fan, is this the 4th level energy crystal? Murenshan asked after taking a look. Yes, Lin Fan nodded. It seems that as soon as you take it out, you can feel that it contains a very rich energy, Murenshan said. After all, the 4th level is the level of the middle stage of evolution, which is much higher than the level of the early stage of evolution, Lin Fan said. After finding a good place, Lin Fan and the other 5 people and Andy began to enter the state. Lin Fan did not waste time, took the 4th level energy crystal in his hand, and began to absorb the energy in the 4th level energy crystal. At the same time, Murongzu, Muringshan, Li Zihan, Mu Hongling and Andy also started to absorb the work. The moment the energy in the 4th level crystal poured into his body, Lin Fan felt like a flood bursting. It is worthy of being a 4th level energy crystal. This energy is too rich. Lin Fan couldn't help but sigh in his heart. Although he knew that the energy contained in the 4th level energy crystal would be very rich, he did not expect it to be this rich. Thinking of this, he did not get distracted anymore and frantically absorbed the energy from the crystal flowing into his body, using this energy to constantly temper his body and make it stronger. It would undoubtedly take more time to absorb the 4th level energy crystal than the 3rd level energy crystal. Lin Fan was not in a hurry. As long as it could improve his strength, it didn't matter if he spent more time. When Murongzu, Muringshan, Li Zihan, Mu Hongling and Andy had absorbed 4 3rd level energy crystals, Lin Fan finally absorbed the 4th level energy crystal. The 4 horizontal bars in the energy crystal disappeared completely. Lin Fan opened his eyes, clenched his palms, and immediately felt a stronger force flowing through his body. Check, Lin Fan said in his heart. Species, human level, level 4 strength. 17 speed. 17 reaction. 17 defense. 15 ability, telekinesis, elementary evolving. When Lin Fan saw his own data information, a faint smile appeared on his face. Chapter 494 One Day of Training. Sure enough, as expected, after absorbing the energy from this level 4 energy crystal, his various data improved. Although it was only improved a little, it was already very good. After all, what he absorbed was a level 4 energy crystal, not a level 5 energy crystal. And this was under the condition of previous training accumulation. If there was no training accumulation, then simply absorbing this level 4 energy crystal would not be able to improve his data. I don't know when my ability will evolve to the intermediate level. Lin Fan glanced at the column of superpowers and sighed expectantly. When he got rid of Luo Beijing before, he was thinking that if his superpower had evolved to the intermediate level and the range of control was more than 10 meters, it would be easier for him to get rid of Luo Beijing. In any case, the attack power of controlling stones and other things is not as good as the 3 hidden weapons that control him. Of course, he was very satisfied that his own strength could be improved at such a fast speed. At least compared with a previous life, he was much stronger. In the previous life, he would never dream of becoming a level 4 evolver. After completing the absorption process, Lin Fan stood up without making any noise, so as not to disturb Murongzu and Andy's absorption. Lin Fan's eyes swept over Murongzu and the others, and also used the ring to read the data of the 4 of them, observing the changes in their data. Mu Hongling's strength seems to be able to break through to the 4th level of evolution. After watching for a while, Lin Fan found that Mu Hongling's strength and the momentum emanating from her body were rising. Moreover, this rise was not an ordinary rise, but a feeling of climbing towards the 4th level of evolution. Now that they came to Luocheng, the environment and dangers they faced were different. If Mu Hongling's strength could break through to the 4th level of evolution, it would obviously be a great thing. In addition to Mu Hongling, Murongzu, Muringshan, Li Zihan and Andy also made great progress. Time passed by minute, and about an hour passed. Murongzu and the others finally stopped absorbing. Lin Fan noticed that Murongzu, Muringshan, and Li Zihan's data had all been raised to 15, and they were just 1 point away from becoming a level 4 evolver. As for Andy, his strength and speed had both reached 16, and his reaction data was still 15. In other words, Andy was only 1 point away from reaching level 4. Lin Fan's gaze shifted to Mu Hongling again. Species, human level, level 4 strength. 16 speed. 16 reaction. 16 superpower, acquiring. When Lin Fan saw Mu Hongling's data, his eyes lit up. He was not surprised at all that Mu Hongling's strength had been raised to level 4 evolver, but he was very surprised that the column for Mu Hongling's superpowers showed acquiring. This meant that Mu Hongling would be able to acquire superpowers sooner or later. In this way, the strength of their team would be improved a lot invisibly. Sister Hongling, why do I feel that your aura has become much stronger? Have you become a level 4 evolver? Muringshan quickly noticed Mu Hongling, and she found that Mu Hongling's overall feeling had become stronger. Murongzu and Li Zihan also discovered this problem, and their beautiful eyes also fell on Mu Hongling. Mu Hongling smiled and nodded and said, "Yes. It seems that he has been promoted to level 4 evolver. Haha, that's great. This way, we will have 2 level 4 evolvers in our team. Murong-shan laughed happily. Murong-zu and Li Zihan were also very happy. They are now a team, and the stronger the overall strength, the better. This time, your strength has been improved. It is a very good start for us to come to Luocheng. Just keep it up. Lin Fan glanced at Murong-zu and Andy and said, our goal this time is to make you all become level 4 evolvers. Brother Lin Fan, don't worry, we will definitely work hard and will not be the object of dragging our feet, Murong-shan said with a clenched fist. Okay, Lin Fan nodded, then took a look at the sky outside and said, it's getting late today, so we won't go out. Let's stay in this factory and rest for a night, so that we can consolidate our strength. After a whole day of fighting and the absorption just now, it was already 12 o'clock in the night. They really didn't need to go out for a stroll. Okay, Murong-zu, Murong-shan, Li Zihan and Mu Hongling all nodded. Century Plaza, many vehicles came to this place. These vehicles were naturally driven by Chu Hongsun and others. After getting off the car, Chu Hongsun called everyone to stand together, glanced at them, and said, in the next period of time, you will all start training here. Without my permission, no one can leave the scope of Century Plaza. Remember, everyone answered in unison. Very good, Chu Hongsun nodded with satisfaction and said, okay, you are tired after driving all day, so start resting now. The training will officially start at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. After the voice fell, everyone did not delay and went to rest. However, Dakshin did not go to rest immediately, but came to Chu Hongsun. Instructor Chu, Dakshin shouted. Dakshin, what's the matter? Chu Hongsun asked with a smile. Chu Hongsun has always had a good impression of Dakshin, because he knew very well that Dakshin and Ziotu had made great contributions to Lin Fan and his teams joining his camp. Instructor, I have already mastered the information here in Luocheng. There are 3 major forces in total, namely Luoman, Zhang family and Xia family. Dakshin quickly told Chu Hongsun the information he had. This was what Chu Hongsun asked him to investigate before they decided to come to Luocheng. Well, these 3 major forces all have level 5 evolvers in charge, which is not bad. After listening, Chu Hongsun just nodded lightly. Instructor, aren't you worried about any conflicts between our people and these 3 major forces? Dakshin asked curiously. What's there to worry about? Chu Hongsun smiled and shook his head, saying, let them come here to experience, not to relax and have fun. If they really clash with the 3 major forces here, then for them, it is also a kind of experience. It depends on how they deal with it. If they can deal with it, it's good. If they can't deal with it, it also means that this is their fate. What's more, the zombie tide they will face next is not necessarily less dangerous than others. I have great confidence in them and believe they can handle it. Chu Hongsun really thought so. Since he was bringing students out for experience, any situation must be taken into consideration. It is impossible to only consider the situation of encountering zombies without considering the situation of encountering other people. Even if the students really conflict with others and encounter danger, it can only be regarded as an unexpected situation in the experience, which is something they have no way to stop. Once they intervene to stop it, the experience will become meaningless. After all, if they really want to stop it, as long as Dong Xianzhuo gives an order, they can directly take down the entire Luocheng. Why do they need to talk so much nonsense? That's right, instructor. Dakshin nodded, then thought of something, changed the subject, and said, by the way, instructor, we have been around Luo City today, and it is estimated that we will also attract the attention of the 3 major forces. I estimate that they will come to find us, and then we. Before Dakshin finished speaking, Chu Hongsun interrupted and said, it depends on what their purpose is. If they dare to be rude, then we don't have to be polite to them. You have to remember what we represent. We don't take the initiative to cause trouble, but it doesn't mean we are afraid of trouble. Yes, instructor, I remember it, Dakshin said seriously. Well, just remember it. Chu Hongsun nodded again. At this time, a group of vehicles drove in from another direction. Chu Hongsun could recognize this group of vehicles at a glance. They were Feng and others. You go and have a good rest first. Old Feng and others are here. I will go over to say hello to Old Feng, Chu Hongsun ordered. Yes, Dakshin answered again, and immediately walked back to the car without wasting time and began to rest. They don't have convenient living conditions here like in the base. Here they eat and sleep in the car. but they can bear this kind of hardship and never make a fuss. Soon, Chu Hongsun came to Feng Kang. After Feng Kang finished explaining to his people, he looked at Chu Hongsun, walked in front of Chu Hongsun, and said with a smile, "Old Chu, you are quite fast. How long have you been here?" "Almost half a day." "It's because you are too slow," Chu Hongsun said. "Don't give me that." Feng Kang looked at Chu Hongsun unhappily and said, "How can I not know you? You must have driven around in Los Angeles, right? You know it, but you still ask? Aren't you just looking for trouble?" Chu Hongsun looked at Feng Kang unhappily. "Haha, I just want to see if you will tell the truth." Feng Kang laughed. "Okay, let's stop joking and talk about business," Chu Hongsun said solemnly. "Our students trained separately before, but the number of people this time is not so large. I don't think it is necessary to train separately. Let the action and the people on your side train together. The two of us will train for 1 day each. What do you think?" Hearing this, Feng Kang nodded without hesitation and said, "I think it's okay. Let's do as you say. One person will train for 1 day. I will train them first tomorrow." "Okay, that's a happy decision." Chu Hongsun smiled slightly. He was very satisfied with Feng Kang's ready agreement. Chapter 495. Someone is coming up. One night passed quickly. The next morning, Lin Fan and his friends adjusted their states while resting. "Okay, let's continue to practice." Lin Fan glanced at Murengzhu and the others and said with a smile. "Okay." Murengzhu and the others nodded. After leaving the factory, Lin Fan looked at Andy and said, "Andy, it's time for you to show off again. Sense which direction has more zombies." Andy nodded his dog's head and began to smell with his nose. Half a minute later, Andy looked in the direction directly ahead. "Okay, then let's go ahead and take a look." Lin Fan still believed in Andy's judgment. The 5 people and the dog continued to walk forward and began the practice today. It must be said that Andy's judgment was still very accurate. In a school ahead, they encountered several level 3 zombies. Now Mu Hongling's strength has reached the level of a level 4 evolver. It is no longer necessary for Mu Hongling to take action to deal with level 3 zombies. It is completely handed over to Murengzhu, Murengshan, Li Zihan and Andy. Seeing Andy's attack, Mu Hongling stood beside Lin Fan and couldn't help saying, "Why do I feel like Andy also has the strength of a level 4 evolver? Is it my illusion?" Lin Fan looked at Mu Hongling with some surprise. He didn't expect Mu Hongling to observe carefully. "It's not your illusion, but Andy's strength has indeed improved a lot, but it doesn't completely have the strength of a level 4 evolver. It just reaches the level of a level 4 evolver in some aspects, so when you look at it as a whole, you still think it has the strength of a level 4 evolver," Lin Fan explained with a smile. He couldn't tell Mu Hongling about Andy's various data, so he could only say it vaguely like this, as long as Mu Hongling could understand the meaning. "I see." Mu Hongling nodded, and understood what Lin Fan meant. While the two of them were talking, Murengzhu, Murengshan, Li Zihan and Andy also quickly dealt with those zombies. 4 level 3 zombies, without a doubt, harvested 4 level 3 energy crystals. Both of us are level 4 evolvers now. Level 3 energy crystals are no longer useful to us. 4 level 3 energy crystals are just right for each of you. You don't have to leave them here, Lin Fan said. It's not that level 4 evolvers cannot absorb the energy in level 3 energy crystals, but if they do, the effect is minimal, which is a waste. As a level 4 evolver, Mu Hongling will naturally not compete with Murengzhu and Andy for level 3 energy crystals. Okay, hearing this, Murengzhu, Murengshan, Li Zihan and Andy all nodded. Andy, keep looking. Lin Fan glanced at Andy. Andy continued to smell with his nose. After determining the direction, they continued to rush towards the next zombie group target. With Andy as a helper, they didn't worry about not being able to find level 3 zombies to kill. Time passed quickly, and in a blink of an eye, 2 days had passed. In a department store, Lin Fan and his 5 people and Andy had just stepped into the first floor. Just now, Andy determined the direction and determined that there were many zombies in this department store. It seems that the zombies are all gathered upstairs. Brother Lin Fan, should we go up and take a look? Murengshan pricked up her ears and listened. She could clearly hear that there were quite a lot of zombie noises spreading upstairs. Of course we have to go upstairs. Otherwise, what are we doing here? Lin Fan said with a smile. Then, without further delay, they walked up to the second floor and started fighting with the zombies in the department store. At the same time, A team of 20 people came to a street outside the department store. If Lin Fan and his friends were here, they would be able to recognize this team. One of them was the Luoman person they had seen in the center of the sports plaza before. The people from the Luoman and the Zhang family who met with Lin Fan and his friends at the sports plaza that day, except Zhang Anping and Luo Ziocean, including the thin man and Luo Beijing, all joined the team looking for Lin Fan and his friends. This team of 20 people was just one of them. We have been searching for 2 days, but we still haven't seen any trace of them. Could it be that they have already left Luo City? I think this is possible. After all, they know that our Luo clan and Zhang clan are both very powerful, but they didn't think too much about it in order to snatch the energy crystal. But after they calmed down, they must have realized that they shouldn't offend us. Maybe they fled Luo City out of fear. Yes, I also think this is entirely possible. In this Luo City, if they dare to offend our two forces, wouldn't that be courting death? They probably know very well how serious the consequences will be if they don't leave Luo City, so what should we do now? Should we continue to search or not? Nonsense. We must continue to search. What's the point of you complaining here? There is no order from above to withdraw us. We can only continue to search. Why think so much? The people in this team talked at once. On the one hand, they felt that this process of searching was very boring and tedious, and they thought that Lin Fan and his friends didn't dare to stay in Luo City any longer, and should have left Luo City. But on the other hand, they did not receive any notice to stop searching. Even if they wanted to withdraw, they had to bite the bullet and persevere. Okay, there is a department store over there. Let's go over there and take a look. If there is no news, we can sit in the department store and rest for a while, the leader of the team said. After we have a good rest, we will go to join up with Brother Baijun's team. Yes, Brother Qiao. Hearing this man's words, the others nodded. With this decision, they did not delay any longer and walked towards the department store. The moment they walked into the department store, their faces became slightly solemn. Brother Qiao, there seems to be a sound of fighting upstairs, one person said. Yes, I heard the sound too, the others echoed. Let's go up and take a look. Brother Qiao is a man in his 30s. He is not only the oldest person in the team, but also the strongest person. He is only one step away from becoming a level 4 evolver. Led by Brother Qiao, the group immediately went upstairs. Arriving at the second floor, a glance revealed that the ground was covered with zombie corpses, many of which could be seen as zombie heads that had just been chopped off. Keep going up. Brother Qiao's expression slightly changed, and he looked towards the entrance of the third floor, and led everyone there. This department store has a total of 6 floors. When they reached the third floor, they still did not see any figures, and saw zombie corpses all over the ground. Go up further. Brother Qiao made another decision. Department store, 6th floor. Lin Fan glanced over and saw 2 level 3 zombies and some level 2 zombies, level 1 zombies, and ordinary zombies. Xiao Shan, Andy, I'll leave the 2 level 3 zombies to you, Lin Fan said with a smile. The level 3 zombie on the left is stronger, and Andy can easily deal with it. Judging from the data, the level 3 zombie on the right is slightly weaker than Murangshan, and I think Murangshan can also easily deal with it. Hearing Lin Fan's arrangement, Murangshan and Andy did not hesitate, and rushed towards the level 3 zombies respectively, fighting fiercely. Xiao Shan's combat experience is getting richer and richer now. Li Zihong's beautiful eyes stayed on Murangshan, and he said with a little sigh. Yes, it is indeed very rich, Lin Fan nodded. During this period, Murangshan's combat experience can be said to have increased at a visible speed. She has completely left the level of a novice and has become a combat veteran. Murangshu smiled slightly. She knew very well that Murangshan's comprehensive strength could be improved so quickly, all because of Lin Fan. Lin Fan knew very well how to train and improve a person. 2 level 3 zombies, just as Lin Fan said, it was not difficult for Andy and Murangshan to deal with them. In less than 5 minutes, the bodies of the 2 level 3 zombies were lying on the ground. Murangshan used a dagger to pry open the zombie's head and took out the level 3 energy crystal, and Andy used his claws to break the zombie's head and also took out the level 3 energy crystal. We also harvested 4 level 3 energy crystals in this department store. As before, each of you will be assigned one, Lin Fan said with a smile. From the 2nd floor to the 5th floor, they only encountered 2 level 3 zombies, which were solved by Murangzu and Li Zihun. It happened that the 2 level 3 energy crystals were also in the hands of Murangzu and Li Zihun. Now that Murin, Shen and Andy each got a level 3 energy crystal, the four of them divided the 4 level 3 energy crystals fairly. The most important thing is that Lin Fan has a hunch that Andy's strength will definitely make a breakthrough today or tomorrow and truly enter the level of a level 4 evolver. Murin, Shen and Andy quickly walked back to Lin Fan and the other three. Lin Fan glanced at them and said, "Let's go. We have searched this department store. There is nothing worth remembering." The moment he finished speaking, Lin Fan heard footsteps coming from downstairs again and immediately said, "Wait, someone is coming up from downstairs, someone is coming up." Murin Zhu, Murin Shen and Li Zihan were all stunned. Because Andy is a dog, his hearing is more sensitive, so he naturally heard the footsteps downstairs. Mu Hongling became a level 4 evolver, and her hearing had also improved. She also heard the voice downstairs. "Well, let's take a look first," Lin Fan nodded. Yes, they all looked towards the staircase. Under their gaze, not long after, a group of people came out of the staircase and soon appeared on the 6th floor, meeting their gazes. Chapter 496 Confident Brother Qiao. It's them. The moment their eyes met, the Luoman man who had met Lin Fan and his group at the sports plaza immediately recognized Lin Fan and his group. Hearing this, Brother Qiao glanced at the man, then looked at Lin Fan and his group, and said, "It's been a long time since we found you. We thought you had left Luo City, but we didn't expect you to still be here." Lin Fan had a very good memory, so he naturally recognized that the person who was speaking was the Luoman man he had met at the sports plaza. However, from Brother Qiao's words, he could tell that the Luoman people had been searching for them for the past 2 days, and it seemed that they didn't want to give them a chance to live. "What? Is it hard to find us?" Lin Fan smiled and said, "To be honest, we really didn't know you were looking for us. If we knew, we would have stayed where we were and waited for you, so you wouldn't have to run so much." "Huh?" Brother Qiao frowned and looked at Lin Fan strangely. "What do you mean?" "It's just what I said." Lin Fan smiled faintly and said, "I don't want you to find us so hard. Can't you hear me?" Puff. Murin Sham couldn't help it and laughed out loud. She knew very well that this was Lin Fan teasing her again. How could he really take the initiative to deliver himself to her? Murin Shan's smile naturally made Brother Qiao react completely. He glared at Lin Fan and said in a gloomy tone, "Boy, do you think you are so powerful just because you have the strength of a 4th level evolver? I tell you, this is Luochen. No one can offend us Luomen in Luochen. Anyone who offends us Luomen will die." What Brother Qiao said was a big truth before this. All those who had offended Luomen in the past were dealt with by Luomen. Therefore, Luomen's title as the largest force in Luocheng is well deserved and not exaggerated. Unfortunately, this threat is meaningless to Lin Fan. Lin Fan smiled and nodded, saying, "Then I have to tell you one thing. Those people and forces that offended me in the past, no matter how strong they were, they died in the end. Do you think it's a coincidence, asshole?" Brother Qiao was furious. He thought Lin Fan was deliberately speaking the opposite to anger him. He didn't know that what Lin Fan said was also true. "Brother Qiao, this kid has the ability to control objects through the air. His strength is extraordinary. We should quickly notify Brother Baijian and the others to come over," the man who spoke before whispered in Brother Qiao's ear. Although the 20 people in their team have the strength of 3rd level evolvers, there is still no 4th level evolver. If they really start fighting, he is worried that their team is no match for Lin Fan and others. After all, he heard with his own ears that the thin man in Luo Baijian admitted that they had let Lin Fan escape even though they joined forces. This was enough to show that Lin Fan's strength was indeed very impressive. If they were careless, they would most likely have to give up their lives here today. "What are you afraid of?" Brother Qiao said disapprovingly. "There are so many of us, and they only have a few people, not to mention there is only one level 4 evolver. Can't we deal with a level 4 evolver even if we all join forces? If you are afraid, you can go and inform Brother Baijian first. I will take them to stay and trap these people. At that time, all the credit will be mine, and you can't even think about it." At this time, Brother Qiao was still thinking about the credit. He didn't realize the seriousness of the matter at all. He thought that they could deal with Lin Fan and his men by joining forces. Hearing what Brother Qiao said, the man couldn't help but frown. "Okay, Brother Qiao, you guys stay here and I'll go and notify Brother Baijian and the others to come over. This will be safer." The man knew Brother Qiao's temper and personality. Once a decision is made, it will be impossible for Brother Qiao to change it unless someone with higher status and strength comes to suppress it. But his status and strength are obviously not as high as Brother Kiao, and he feels that they can't be the opponent of Lin Fan and others, so he can only make such a decision. Go, Brother Kiao said indifferently. He obviously didn't care whether this person stayed or left. In his eyes, one more person is not much, one less person is not much, and leaving a person who doesn't listen to the arrangement is even less, so as not to hinder his eyes. The man took a deep breath, without any delay, turned around and walked down the stairs. Brother Lin Fan, that guy is leaving. Murin Shan always pays attention to the movements of Brother Kiao and others. When she saw the man walking towards the stairs, she quickly reminded him. It's okay, let him go. Lin Fan shook his head and didn't intend to stop him. First, he had read the strength of Brother Kiao and others with his ring. Although there were no level 4 evolvers, they were all level 3 evolvers with good strength. It would take more or less time to kill them. Second, the area of this department store was not small at all. Although they were all on the 6th floor, the distance between them and Brother Kiao and others was more than 200 meters. At such a distance, even if they rushed over to capture the man, Brother Kiao and others would not stand idly by and would definitely take action against them. After such an entanglement, they still could not stop the man. What's more, if they acted rashly, it might cause more people around Brother Kiao to retreat, and it would be more troublesome to catch up with him. Based on the above 2 points, Lin Fan felt that it didn't matter if he let the man go. It was nothing more than notifying Luo Beijing to come over. First of all, he was not afraid of Luo Beijing's strength. Secondly, before Luo Beijing and others came, I'm afraid the battle here had ended, so it was entirely possible that they left. Finally, even if they didn't leave and ran into Luo Beijing and others, it was still unclear who would win. A level 4 evolver like Luo Beijing had a high status in Luomen, and he might have some good things on him. If they killed Luo Beijing, they would naturally get everything from him. After that person left, Brother Kiao walked towards Lin Fan and the others. I'll give you a chance now. If you surrender voluntarily, you can suffer less physical pain. Otherwise, if you fall into my hands, I'm not a kind person. My methods will make you know what cruelty and ruthlessness are. Brother Kiao had a fierce smile on his face. That's great. I just want to experience what cruelty and ruthlessness are. Please don't hold back. If you hold back, I will look down on you. Lin Fan smiled faintly. Seeing the smile on Lin Fan's face, Brother Kiao was so angry that his nose was crooked. He took a deep breath and shouted angrily, Boy, I think you will not cry until you see the coffin. Do you think you can do whatever you want with the strength of a 4th level evolver? Sorry, I thought I could do whatever I want with the strength of a 4th level evolver. Lin Fan nodded and said seriously. Hearing Lin Fan's words, Brother Kiao almost stumbled and fell to the ground. He didn't expect Lin Fan to answer him so shamelessly. Isn't this obviously to anger him? You 5, go deal with the 4 women and the dog, and the rest of you, all come with me to deal with the boy. Brother Kiao took a deep breath and decided not to say anything more to Lin Fan. He felt that he could not win the argument with Lin Fan. If he continued to talk to Lin Fan, he might be even more angry with Lin Fan. Remember, don't let them run away. If anyone lets them run away, I will cripple you, Brother Kiao emphasized in a heavier tone. Yes, everyone answered in unison. Then, 5 people separated to deal with Murin Zhu, Murin Shan, Li Zihan, Mu Hongling and Andy. They had no idea that Mu Hongling's strength had been promoted to the level of a 4th level evolver, nor did they know that Murin Zhu, Murin Shan, Li Zihan and Andy's strength had greatly improved. When these 5 people rushed towards Murin Zhu and Andy, Brother Kiao led the other 13 people to rush towards Lin Fan. He didn't believe that the 13 of them couldn't deal with Lin Fan alone. If they couldn't deal with him like this, it only showed that they were too useless. The battle between the 2 sides was about to break out. Brother Kiao led his people to rush in front of Lin Fan, with a strong murderous intent flashing in his eyes. Just as he was about to speak, he heard a dull bang. He saw that the person who rushed up with him had just arrived in front of Lin Fan and was waving his fist to attack Lin Fan, but before his fist could get close to Lin Fan punched him in the nose. The bridge of the nose was broken instantly. As the blood from his nose gushed out, the man's body flew backwards and hit the wall hard before stopping. The moment he landed, he fainted. Seeing this scene, everyone was stunned. They had never expected that Lin Fan's strength would be so strong. What are you standing there for? Brother Kiao was the first to react and shouted, come on together. Although he was also shocked by Lin Fan's strength, He knew very well that this was not the time for them to be stunned. Now they must take down Lin Fan in one go and must not encourage Lin Fan's arrogance. Bang! 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 4 dull sounds spread out in succession. As these 4 sounds spread, 4 figures flew out side by side and lost consciousness before they landed. Gulu. Brother Kiao swallowed uncontrollably. He was completely dumbfounded. So many of them besieged Lin Fan together. Not only did they not even get close to Lin Fan's body, but in less than half a minute, 5 of them were knocked down. How could they fight this battle? Even if they fought desperately, the gap in strength was too big. Chapter 497 Go over and fight. Bang! While Lin Fan was knocking 5 people away, the man who rushed up from Mu Hongling's side was kicked in the chest by Mu Hongling, and was kicked away. The power of Mu Hongling's kick was so strong that she used up all her strength. When the man flew backwards, it was clear that his chest had been kicked down. Bang! The man's body hit the wall behind him, making a big hole in the wall. This shows how terrifying the power of Mu Hongling's kick was. Level 4 Evolver, Brother Kiao compared the distance he flew out in the big hole in the wall, and immediately reacted. He looked at Mu Hongling in amazement and shouted, "You are also a level 4 Evolver." Although he did not personally feel how powerful Mu Hongling's power was, he was not a fool and could roughly infer it. "Who told you that I can't be your level 4 Evolver?" Mu Hongling smiled disdainfully. Brother Kiao's head seemed to be hit hard by something, and there was a buzzing feeling. It was not until now that he realized what a stupid decision he had made just now, and he actually brought his brothers to fight with Lin Fan and his men. They couldn't even deal with Lin Fan, a level 4 Evolver, let alone another level 4 Evolver. "Retreat! Retreat quickly," Brother Kiao shouted without hesitation. He was now 100% sure that they were no match for Lin Fan and his men, and retreat was their best choice. If they continued to stay, they would only die in vain. "It's too late to want to leave now." Lin Fan smiled slightly, and in Brother Kiao's eyes, his smile was like that of a demon, and a cool breeze blew on Brother Kiao's back. Mu Hongling would not give Brother Kiao and his men a chance to retreat either. She dealt with the only person who came to deal with her, and her delicate body flashed, appearing in the direction of the stairs, equivalent to blocking the only exit here. In this way, Brother Kiao and his men had to get past her if they wanted to leave. Bang! 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 Lin Fan didn't intend to waste more time with Brother Kiao and the others. He took steps and shuttled between the crowd, using his fists and feet, and one figure after another flew backwards. Under his powerful attack, these people were like fragile children, completely unable to resist. Even if there was a quick reacting person who crossed his arms in front of him, it was in vain, and even the bones of his upper arm were broken by Lin Fan's punch. Muring Zhu, Muring Shan, Li Zihan and Andy were still very fast in taking down the opponent. Especially Andy. In fact, when Mu Hongling dealt with the first person, Andy also dealt with a person who dealt with it. Andy's current strength is nothing wrong with being regarded as a 4th level Evolver. In less than 5 minutes, except for the person who went to tip off the news before, Brother Kiao and the other 19 people, only Brother Kiao was left standing. The rest of the people all lay on the ground, their breath cut off. You guys, Brother Kiao's eyes were filled with deep fear. He now truly understood why that guy wanted to inform Luo Beijing and the others. Because the strength of a level 4 Evolver was too terrifying, and they were not something that level 3 Evolvers like them could deal with. Of course, it was also their bad luck to meet Lin Fan. If they had met another ordinary level 4 Evolver, they might have been able to deal with it if more than 10 level 3 Evolvers joined forces. But when they met a powerful level 4 Evolver like Lin Fan, they would have been defeated. "Why are you stuttering? Weren't you so arrogant just now?" Muring Shan glared at Brother Kiao and asked sarcastically, "Didn't you say that your methods are very cruel? Why don't you show us how cruel your methods are now, so that we can open our eyes?" No, I was wrong." Brother Kiao shook his head and said with sweat dripping down his face, "It was my fault just now. I apologize to everyone. I hope you will be kind enough to let me go." All the people he brought were dealt with by Lin Fan and his men. Now he was the only one left. Mu Hongling was blocking him at the stairs. He knew he couldn't escape. In this situation, if he still insisted, he would really die. "You are too cowardly. If you were as ambitious and arrogant as before, I would still respect you a little, but now you are like this," Muring Shan said, tilting her head to look at Lin Fan and said, "Brother Lin Fan, I really want to beat him up. Go over and beat him up." Lin Fan smiled. Murin Shan knew that she was no match for Brother Kiao, so she asked Lin Fan in this way, to some extent, to seek Lin Fan's protection. Lin Fan stepped to within 10 meters. As long as Brother Kiao dared to act rashly, he could use his supernatural power to take Brother Kiao down. Auntie, if you want to hit me, just hit me directly. As long as you don't kill me and keep me alive, everything is fine. Brother Kiao nodded and bowed. However, when he said this, a subtle sinister look flashed in the depths of his eyes. You know yourself well, Murin Shan said casually, then stepped in front of Brother Kiao, without any hesitation, clenched her jade hand into a fist, and hit Brother Kiao's face fiercely. She just thought that Brother Kiao's face was very worthy of a beating, and wanted to come over and beat him up. However, at this critical moment, Brother Kiao flashed a treacherous smile on his face, dodged to the side, avoided Murin Shan's attack, and then reached out to grab Murin Shan's neck. The moment Lin Fan agreed to let Murin Shan come and beat him up, he knew his chance had come. In today's situation, it would be useless for him to just beg for mercy. He had to have bargaining chips in his hands to turn things around. Therefore, he set his sights on Murin Shan. As long as he had Murin Shan in his hands, he could threaten Lin Fan and Mu Hongling to make way, and he could leave here safely. By then, when he joined up with Luo Beijing and others, it would not be too late to bring Luo Beijing and others back to take revenge. At such a close distance, Murin Shan could not react at all, and Brother Kiao's palm was about to pinch her neck. Whoosh! However, at this moment, Lin Fan, who was always paying attention to Brother Kiao, was distracted, and a dagger flew out of his body, slashing towards Brother Kiao's palm at a lightning speed. Crack! The power of the dagger was very strong. The moment it chopped on Brother Kiao's palm, the sound of a bone being cut was heard. Brother Kiao's palm was cut off from the wrist by the dagger, and the bright red blood kept dripping from the broken part to the ground. Ah! My hand! Brother Kiao screamed in pain after his palm was cut off. The sound was as miserable as it could be, and he couldn't help but shed tears. He never expected that a dagger would suddenly fly over and attack him. And what he didn't expect was that the power of this dagger was so strong that it cut off his palm in one go. Bang! Murin Shan came back to her senses and kicked Brother Kiao in the stomach, kicking him to his knees on the ground. You still want to sneak attack me? Do you think my brother Lin Fan is a vegetarian? Murin Shan snorted. As she said that, Murin Shan looked back at Lin Fan and said to him, Brother Lin Fan, thank you. Lin Fan smiled slightly, and with a move of his mind, he took back the dagger. Seeing the dagger flying directly towards Lin Fan, Brother Kiao almost popped his eyes out in pain. This, Brother Kiao opened his mouth, but couldn't utter a complete sentence for a long time. Obviously, the pain of his wrist being cut off had made him so miserable that he couldn't even speak clearly. This is my ability, how is it? Not bad, right? Lin Fan smiled faintly. Puff. Hearing this, Brother Kiao opened his mouth and spit out a mouthful of blood. This was purely because of anger. You can only blame yourself for your current fate because you are too confident. Look, the person before was very smart and left here early, Lin Fan said. Then, he looked at Murin Shan and made a gesture of wiping his neck to her. Got it, Murin Shan understood what Lin Fan meant and ended Brother Kiao's life without hesitation. Okay, it's almost time for us to leave here. Lin Fan glanced at the bodies on the ground, and after making sure that Brother Kiao and the others weren't all dead, he said, although we are not afraid of the other side, we don't know how many people the other side has brought and how strong they are. So, before we know it clearly, it would be better for us to hide in the dark. Yeah, Murin Zhu, Murin Shan, Li Zihan, and Mu Hongling all nodded. The 5 people and the dog didn't waste any more time, walked down from the 6th floor, and left the department store. At the same time, in another direction, outside a bank, Luo Beijing was leading people to search here. Luo Beijing sat in the car, his eyes swept around, and after a while, the Luoman members who were arranged by him to search the bank came out one after another. How is it? Did you find anything? Luo Beijing asked. Brother Beijing, nothing, everyone shook their heads and replied. Okay, get in the car and continue to the next place. I don't believe they can grow wings and fly, Luo Beijing ordered. Yes, everyone responded again and was about to get back in the car. However, at this moment, a figure ran over from the other side of the road, shouting as he ran, Brother Beijing, I found them. Hearing this, Luo Beijing's eyes flashed, and he immediately opened the car door and got out of the car, looking at the figure running towards him. Tell me. Where did you find them? Luo Beijan asked hurriedly. Chapter 498 We meet again. Luo Beijan could recognize at a glance that this person was the one who had been with him at the sports plaza that day. He had seen Lin Fan and his friends with his own eyes and knew their appearance. Hearing Luo Beijan's question, the man hurriedly said, Brother Beijan, they are in the department store on the street ahead. Whose team are you following? Luo Beijan asked again. Brother Kiao, the man replied. Then where are they now? Luo Beijan asked. They are dealing with that guy in the department store. I hurried over to inform you, the man said. Okay, well done. Let's not waste any time. Let's go find them now. We can't let them get away this time. Luo Beijan's eyes fixed and said, You take my car? Yes, the man nodded and followed Luo Beijan back to the car. You guys hurry up and drive to catch up, Luo Beijan said to the others, and then without wasting time, he drove ahead. The rest of the people hurriedly drove to catch up, not daring to delay at all. Inside the car, Luo Beijan asked while driving, I remember your team has 20 people, right? Yes, the man nodded. Except you, there are 19 left. With their strength, although they can't defeat the guys, it shouldn't be a big problem to delay them for a while, Luo Beijan analyzed. He didn't think Qiao Jie and the others could take down Lin Fan, but he thought Qiao Jie and the others could delay time. As long as they could delay until they got there, Lin Fan and the others would definitely not be able to escape. After all, this time, he had a level 4 evolver following him. Swish! Luo Beijan drove very fast. When the car stopped outside the department store, he stepped on the brakes, and the tires rubbed against the ground, making a harsh sound. Let's go, get out of the car. As soon as the car stopped, Luo Beijan urged. Everyone opened the car door and got out of the car. Led by the man, they ran directly to the 6th floor. When they arrived at the staircase of the 6th floor and saw the scene on the 6th floor, their faces became extremely ugly. Luo Beijan, in particular, had a very ugly expression. Dead. All dead. The person who tipped off the news also trembled slightly. He had already informed Luo Beijan and others as quickly as possible, but he didn't expect to be one step behind. Luo Beijan's fists clenched and creaked. Although Brother Kiao and others were not very strong in Luomen, they were all level 3 evolvers. Losing 19 level 3 evolvers at once was a big loss for Luomen. After all, every level 3 evolver had the potential to become a level 4 evolver, especially someone like Brother Kiao who was at the peak of level 3 evolvers, who was only one step away from crossing to the level of level 4 evolvers. As a result, before this step could be crossed, he was killed here. Brother Beijan. We are now. The person who tipped off the news saw that Luo Beijan was silent there and the atmosphere was too depressing. He took a deep breath and mustered up the courage to break the silence. Search, Luo Beijan shouted, they must not have gone far. Search around here immediately. Search hard. We must find them. If we don't kill them, I will never be able to relieve my hatred. Yes, everyone answered in unison. After leaving the department store, Lin Fan and his companions did not go far. Instead, they found a building and entered a relatively clean room. Andy, I think your strength should be able to break through to the 4th level soon. We will wait here until your strength breaks through before taking action. Lin Fan looked at Andy and said with a smile. Wow. Brother Lin Fan, Andy is also going to become a 4th level evolver. Murin Shen opened her mouth in surprise. Yes, almost. Lin Fan nodded. Then should we give the 3rd level energy crystal in our hands to Andy first, so that Andy can break through with all his strength? Murin Shen asked. Murinzu and Li Zihan had no different opinions. They were both full of love for Andy. Moreover, Andy's breakthrough in strength would only benefit the team. This way, when they encounter level 4 zombies or level 4 opponents later, they will have a better chance of winning. No need. Andy's strength has reached the edge of a peak breakthrough. According to my estimation, as long as the level 3 energy crystal is absorbed, it should be able to break through. Lin Fan smiled and said, anyway, let's see first. If you can't break through, it won't be too late to contribute your level 3 energy crystals. If you can break through, that would be the best. Okay, Murin Shen nodded. Lin Fan looked at Andy again and said, Andy, then you start absorbing that level 3 energy crystal. Woof. Andy barked twice in response. Then, it didn't waste any time and began to hold the level 3 energy crystal in its mouth and absorb it. During this process, Lin Fan and others watched quietly from the side. It didn't take Andy long to absorb the level 3 energy crystal. After about 20 minutes, Andy completely absorbed all the energy in the level 3 crystal. At the same time, Lin Fan and the others could clearly feel that Andy's momentum had become much stronger at this moment. Check, Lin Fan said in his heart. Species, German Shepherd level 4 strength. 16 speed. 16 reaction. 16 superpower. Acquiring Andy's data information appeared in Lin Fan's sight. Andy's superpower also shows that it is being acquired. Lin Fan was slightly surprised. I wonder what kind of superpower it will get when the time comes. Andy, congratulations, Murin Shan said with a smile. The strength of a level 4 evolver. Andy is now stronger than the three of us, Li Zihan also said with a smile. So, the three of us have to work harder and strive to become level 4 evolvers as soon as possible. We can't let them pull the gap too far, Murin Zhu added. That's it, Murin Shan and Li Zihan looked at each other. Speaking of which, the strength of our team is really strong, Murin Shan said proudly. There are 6 in total, and 3 of them are level 4 evolvers. When the 3 of us break through and become level 4 evolvers, all 6 of them will be level 4 evolvers. It's scary to think about it. Hearing Murin Shan say this, Murin Zhu, Li Zihan and Mu Hongling also sighed. But they all knew that all this was thanks to Lin Fan. If it weren't for Lin Fan, they would not be able to appear in such a team, and it would be impossible for them to improve their strength so quickly. Let's rest here tonight, Lin Fan said. It's unknown when the corpse tide will break out. Even if they are not very tired, they still have to rest when they should. Maintaining peak condition is the kingly way. In this way, even if the corpse tide breaks out suddenly, they can deal with it and won't be in a hurry. Murin Zhu, Murin Shan, Li Zihan and Mu Hongling have no objection to Lin Fan's arrangement. They each found a clean place and began to lie down and rest. At 1 in the morning, Lin Fan and his friends were fast asleep, but suddenly, the sound of footsteps and voices outside woke them up. Seeing Murin Shan about to speak, Lin Fan could not help but gesture to Murin Shan to whisper, and Murin Shan swallowed back what she was about to say. We don't know where those people are hiding. We've searched everywhere but still can't find them. The most important thing is, we don't know when we'll find them. I'm so sleepy now. You're not the only one who's sleepy. We're all sleepy, okay? But we still have to keep looking. Looking at Brother Bajan's attitude, if we don't find them tonight, we probably won't be able to rest, Alice. Looking is one thing, but the sad thing is that we don't know if they are still here. If they are not on this area, we won't be able to find them even if we turn the underground upside down. Okay, stop complaining. We haven't visited the building in front yet. Let's go check it out now. Complaining won't solve any problems anyway. Hearing the discussion coming from outside, Lin Fan and the others immediately realized that it was Luo Beijan and others who were searching for their whereabouts in this area. Come to think of it, they killed Brother Qiao and others. Luo Beijan must have been furious when he knew about it. He wanted to cut them into pieces. It would be difficult to breathe a sigh of relief if he didn't find them. Bang! The men were not far from here. When they walked outside the door, one of them raised his foot and kicked the door, and kicked it open with a bang. Someone is inside. The moment the door was kicked open, since Lin Fan and his men did not deliberately find a place to hide, with the help of the moonlight, they naturally saw Lin Fan and his men. 1 man, 4 women, and the dog. That's them. Someone come. We found them. After discovering Lin Fan and his men, someone shouted loudly. They were currently searching in this area, and when they heard the shouting, they all responded. Especially Luo Beijan, his spirits were much higher at this time. Not only were the others impatient to find Lin Fan and his men, he was even more impatient to find Lin Fan, but he wanted to find Lin Fan more than anyone else. Now he finally heard the sound of finding Lin Fan, which made him relax a little. Let's go, hurry up and come with me. Luo Beijan stretched out his hand and waved, wishing he could grow wings and fly to Lin Fan. Everyone followed Luo Beijan and ran towards the building where Lin Fan and his friends were at a very fast speed. When they arrived at the building, Lin Fan and his friends also walked out of the room. See you again. Lin Fan looked at Luo Beijan and greeted him with a faint smile. Chapter 499 Lin Fan's Arrangement. The moment Luo Beijan saw Lin Fan, the murderous intent in his eyes was exposed without any concealment. Boy! You dare to kill our people. Do you know what the consequences will be? Luo Beijan said in an extremely angry tone. What consequences? Lin Fan spread his hands and said indifferently. I really don't know what the consequences will be. Oh, do you mean that I will die in your hands, or you will cut me into pieces, or your methods are extremely cruel and make me suffer? Luo Beijing was stunned for a moment. Shouldn't this be his line? Lin Fan smiled faintly. The previous 19 people, the leader, also said the same thing to me. Unfortunately, if you have been to that department store, you should have seen their end. I don't need to say it again, right? Lin Fan didn't need to guess that Luo Beijing and others must have been to the department store to see it. Otherwise, Luo Beijing wouldn't be so angry. However, no matter what the result is, he doesn't regret killing Brother Qiao and others. He has never been soft-hearted when dealing with enemies. Luo Beijing looked at Lin Fan coldly, his tone full of murderous intent, and said, "That will be the most wrong thing you have done in your life." Well, someone said this to me before. It's a pity that the person who said this to me is dead. Lin Fan responded with a smile. Puff. Murin Sham couldn't help laughing again. She now found that she especially liked to see Lin Fan's words anger his opponent, especially when she saw the opponent's face changing constantly because of anger. That was one of her particularly happy moments. Boy. You are looking for death? Luo Beijing roared. Your behavior, isn't it also looking for death? Lin Fan asked back. When Luo Beijing and others came over, he used the ring to read the data of Luo Beijing and others. First of all, there are a total of 4 level 4 evolvers in Luo Beijing and others team. Originally, there were indeed 2, but later, after knowing that Brother Qiao and others died at the hands of Lin Fan and others, he returned to Luomen again and asked the Luomen sect master to send more people to them. The leader of Luomen obviously knew the seriousness of the matter and agreed to the request for more manpower. He immediately added 2 level 4 evolvers to follow him and told him to take down Lin Fan no matter what, otherwise he would be severely punished. Facing the pressure from the leader of Luomen, Luo Beijing still agreed without hesitation. Lin Fan had become his #1 enemy, and he would not be willing to kill Lin Fan. This was also the reason why he asked people to keep looking for Lin Fan. Because he had to take down Lin Fan. As for the level 3 evolvers in the team, there were about 30 of them, and the rest were level 2 evolvers. It goes without saying that the level of level 2 evolvers was used to make up the number of people for the search. For a search, you must have more manpower, but Luomen could not have so many level 4 evolvers and level 3 evolvers constantly invested. In terms of lineup, the 2 teams certainly did not have any advantage. However, in terms of quality, that was not necessarily the case. The other 3 level 4 evolvers had all data of 16, and from the momentum, they were obviously those who had just been promoted to level 4 evolvers. Although such level 4 evolvers are much stronger than level 3 evolvers, in a sense, they are not that strong among level 4 evolvers. Especially when he has supernatural powers, he can deal with 3 of them alone without much problem. So, what he thought was that if the 2 sides go to war later, he will deal with Luo Beijing and the other 2 level 4 evolvers alone. The remaining level 4 evolver can be dealt with by Mu Hongling or Andy. However, Lin Fan prefers Mu Hongling to deal with the remaining level 4 evolver. After all, Andy's movement speed will be faster than Mu Hongling. If Andy, Murongsu, Murongshan, and Li Zihan deal with those level 3 evolvers, once Murongsu, Murongshan, and Li Zihan are in danger, Andy can quickly go to support them. Even if the opponent has 30 level 3 evolvers, Lin Fan feels that with Andy joining the camp of Murongsu, Murongshan, and Li Zihan, they can completely cope with it. He has absolute confidence in Andy's strength. Brother Beijing, this kid is very sharp-tongued. I think we don't need to waste time talking to him. Once we take him down, we'll see how arrogant he can be. Someone beside Luo Beijing spoke up. This person was one of the level 4 evolvers. In his opinion, with their lineup, it would be too easy to take down Lin Fan and a dog. Yes, Brother Beijing, such a kid should be taken down and dealt with properly. He will naturally realize how wrong his current behavior is. Another level 4 evolver spoke up. Okay, Luo Beijing nodded, waved his hand, and said, take them down. Remember, capture them alive. When he came out to search for Lin Fan and others, Luo Zioshan had privately found Luo Beijing. He told Luo Beijing that if he found Lin Fan and others, he didn't care about Lin Fan's life or death, but he must not hurt Murongzu, Murangshan, Li Zihan and Mu Hongling. There is no doubt that Luo Zioshan had evil thoughts about Murongzu and the other 4, and wanted to make Murongzu and the other 4 submit to him. Luo Beijing naturally agreed to Luo Zioshan's request. He also hoped that Luo Ziotian would give him a position as the deputy leader after he took control of Luomen. However, even if Luo Ziotian didn't care about Lin Fan's life or death, he would not let Lin Fan die so easily. He wanted to slowly torture Lin Fan to death and slowly vent the anger accumulated in the past few days on Lin Fan. Yes, hearing Luo Beijan's order, the people of Luomen responded in unison. Go! Luo Beijan waved his hand again, and everyone rushed towards Lin Fan and Andy without any hesitation. I will deal with 3 level 4 evolvers, Hongling, you deal with 1, and Andy, you and Xiaoshan will deal with the rest together. Lin Fan made arrangements quickly. What? Hearing Lin Fan's arrangement, Mu Rongsu, Mu Rongshan, Li Zihan and Mu Hongling were all stunned. Lin Fan, you said you can deal with 3 alone, Mu Hongling asked quickly. Yes, I will deal with 3, and you deal with 1, Lin Fan's eyes fixed, and he quickly replied, only with this distribution can we have a chance of winning. Otherwise, if we don't have a level 4 evolver to deal with those level 3 evolvers, then Xiaoshan and the other 3 will not be able to resist. Lin Fan was right. Murengzhu, Murengshan and Li Zihan's strength is indeed very good among the level 3 evolvers. But that is when they fight alone. At present, the opponent's 30 level 3 evolvers are not that weak. With such a huge number gap, it is normal that Murengzhu, Murengshan and Li Zihan can't cope with it. Therefore, Lin Fan arranged Andy to deal with them together. If they could deal with it by relying on the 3 of them, Lin Fan would not make such an arrangement. Okay, this is the only way for now. I will defeat my opponent as soon as possible to help you, Mu Hongling nodded. It's not that she looks down on Lin Fan's strength, but they are all level 4 evolvers. She thinks it's too difficult for Lin Fan to deal with 3 alone. Then, the only solution is for her to quickly defeat her opponent, so that she can free up her hands to help Lin Fan. Okay, Lin Fan nodded. Be careful, Murengzhu looked at Lin Fan with her beautiful eyes and whispered. You too, Lin Fan also warned. Boy! Come and die. At this time, Luo Beijan and others rushed to the front, his eyes were fixed on Lin Fan, and the murderous intent in his eyes could be said to be like a volcanic eruption. Facing Luo Beijan's gaze, Lin Fan smiled faintly and said, I'm afraid it's you who will die, humph. Luo Beijan snorted coldly and stretched out his hand to attack Lin Fan. Lin Fan raised the corner of his mouth, clenched his fists, and smashed them hard. Bang! Lin Fan and Luo Beijan's fists collided with each other, and an extremely dull sound was heard immediately. Then, Luo Beijan's face changed, and his body couldn't help but retreat 2 steps to the back. Your strength has actually improved. Luo Beijan looked at Lin Fan in surprise. If you haven't lost your memory, you should be able to remember that I got a level 4 energy crystal that you all worked so hard to fight for. Lin Fan smiled faintly and said, with the help of that level 4 energy crystal, my strength has improved further, so, if I really want to say it, maybe I have to thank you, asshole. Luo Beijan was so angry that his lungs were about to explode. He knew that Lin Fan said this on purpose to anger him, but he still couldn't help being angry. After all, they had been busy at the Sports Plaza Center for so long that day, and they really served as wedding clothes. Of course, while he was angry, he was also shocked by how fast Lin Fan's strength improved. You know, he himself is also a level 4 evolver, and he knows very well how difficult it is for a level 4 evolver to improve his strength at this stage. If Lin Fan absorbed a level 5 energy crystal to improve his strength, he would think there would be no problem at all, but Lin Fan absorbed a level 4 energy crystal to improve his strength, which can only mean that Lin Fan's talent and growth potential are quite terrifying. Such a genius, in the case of hostility between the 2 sides, must not be allowed to develop in any case, otherwise it will definitely become their nightmare. Thinking of this, Luo Beijan's eyes were filled with murderous intent. However, before he could continue to attack, Lin Fan had already moved his mind and controlled 3 hidden weapons from his body. A dagger, a dart, and a steel needle. Under his control, the 3 hidden weapons attacked Luo Beijan and the other 2 level 4 evolvers respectively. Chapter 500, Finding a Breakthrough. Swish. 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 3 sounds of breaking through the air rang out in succession. Under Lin Fan's control, the 3 hidden weapons were extremely fast, and when they passed through the air, they also made a sharp sound of breaking through the air. With the improvement of Lin Fan's strength, when he controlled the hidden weapons with his mind, although he could not increase the distance of the hidden weapons' movement, he could control them more easily. The 2 level 4 evolvers originally wanted to deal with other people, and did not expect that Lin Fan would take the initiative to attack them. Long before coming here, Luo Beijing told them that Lin Fan had the ability to control objects through the air. Therefore, they all knew that the hidden weapons were controlled by Lin Fan. Be careful. These hidden weapons are very flexible. Stay alert at all times and don't be attacked by him, Luo Beijing hurriedly reminded when he saw the hidden weapons appear. Okay, the two level 4 evolvers nodded in response. Then, without wasting any time, the three of them began to dodge the attacks of the hidden weapons together. The remaining level 4 evolver fought with Mu Hongling. Xiao Shan, Zihan, Andy, let's fight too. Murongzu took a look at the battle situation, then turned her gaze back to Murongshan, Li Zihan and Andy and said. Yes, Murongshan and Li Zihan nodded in response, and Andy could not speak, so he just nodded his dog head. The three people and the dog rushed out at the same time and fought with Luomen's level 3 evolvers. As for Luomen's level 2 evolvers who came to search, they knew very well that their strength was not qualified to participate in such a battle. Even if they went over to make up the numbers, they would only be beaten. Therefore, they all stood at a distance and watched. That guy's ability is so powerful. He can control objects through the air so flexibly, yet. No wonder Brother Baijian asked us to search for him overnight. If we let such a person grow up, it will not be good news for us in Luomen. Yes, this kind of person must be strangled in the cradle before he fully grows up, otherwise once he really grows up, no one will be able to subdue him. Tonight, with Brother Baijian and the others here, this kid will definitely be taken down, that's for sure. He wants to deal with 3 people alone. Humph. Even if he has the ability to control objects through the air, he can't be a match for Brother Baijian and the other 3. There is a price to pay for being arrogant. He is not arrogant, but they simply don't have enough manpower, so he has to challenge 3 people alone. Haha, who told him to provoke us Luomen? If he provokes us Luomen, then be prepared to be eliminated. The second level evolvers who were standing around watching excitedly discussed it one by one. In their opinion, tonight was a dead end for Lin Fan. No matter how great his abilities were, he was doomed to die. Lin Fan didn't care about the opinions of these people. He was now concentrating on controlling 3 hidden weapons to deal with Luo Beijing and his 3 men. Luo Beijing and his 3 men were also quite helpless in the face of the attack of 3 hidden weapons. Because they found that it was difficult for them to break through the attack of 3 hidden weapons. Every time they dodged or knocked out the 3 hidden weapons, Lin Fan could immediately control 3 hidden weapons to attack them again. This meant that they had to dodge or knock out again. But this cycle continued over and over again, which was equivalent to them not even touching a hair of Lin Fan, let alone injuring him. Lin Fan's eyes flickered, and he continued to control the 3 hidden weapons to deal with Luo Beijing and his 3 men. He controlled them with his mind, and for him, except for some close-range displacement, it didn't consume any physical strength at all. In this way, he only needed to continue to control the 3 hidden weapons to consume the physical strength of Luo Beijing and his 3 men. When the 3 people's physical strength is consumed to a certain extent, they will definitely be upset. In this case, it is easy to reveal flaws. Once they reveal a flaw, he can seize the opportunity to injure them. At that time, the joint efforts of the 3 of them will be self-defeating. Bang! Bang! Mu Hongling's side and Luomen's 4th level evolver fought very fiercely. There were constant dull sounds when the 2 of them collided. It must be said that Mu Hongling's actual combat experience is also quite rich. From the beginning, she did not let Luomen's 4th level evolver take any advantage. As the fight continued, it could be felt that the opponent had shown a trend of being suppressed. If it continued like this, it would not take long for Mu Hongling to completely gain the upper hand. Murongzu, Murongshan and Li Zihan, the 3 of them were now besieged by Luomen's 3rd level evolver. Fortunately, the strength of the 3 of them was not simple, and they would not be defeated immediately even if they were besieged. Whenever they were about to encounter danger, Andy would come to help them. From here, it can be seen that Lin Fan's arrangement is very suitable. Because Andy's target is small, the movement speed is fast, and it is convenient to shuttle among the crowd. Otherwise, it is absolutely impossible to provide quick support. In general, in these battle circles, Lin Fan and his men did not fall into disadvantage, and they were completely able to cope with the situation. Lin Fan knew very well that the breakthrough point of their battle was either on him or on Andy. In his case, it was that he found the right opportunity to injure one of the 3 men of Luo Beijing, so that the 3 men of Luo Beijing would be defeated, and he could defeat the other 2 at a faster speed, so as to help Murengzu and others. And if he did not find an opportunity, then the opportunity might appear on Andy's side. Although the opponent had a large number of level 3 evolvers, no matter what, Andy already had the strength of a level 4 evolver. As long as he was careful, he would definitely be able to defeat those level 3 evolvers one by one. This was also a very headache for Luo Beijing at this time. He was 100% sure that when they were at the sports plaza, Mu Hongling and Andy did not have the strength of a 4th level evolver. However, only 2 or 3 days later, Mu Hongling and Andy's strength had reached the level of a 4th level evolver. This meant that, in addition to Lin Fan being the biggest threat to Lin Fan's team, Mu Hongling and Andy were also a considerable threat. In fact, if Lin Fan and the others were not taken down, he felt that it would not be long before Murengzu, Murengshan, and Li Zihan's strength would also rise to the level of a 4th level evolver. By then, if they did not send out their true core strength, it would be difficult for them to deal with Lin Fan and the others. Thinking of this, Luo Beijing gritted his teeth. He had made a promise to the leader of the Luomen that he would definitely take down Lin Fan and the others. If he failed to do so, he would be punished. This punishment, considering his strength, might not be really that serious, but it was a very shameful thing after all, and it would be difficult for him to hold his head up in the Luomen in the future. Brother Beijing, this is too bad for us. We must find a way to break his hidden weapon attack, otherwise we will only become more and more passive. A level 4 evolver frowned and said after avoiding the attack of the hidden weapon. The battle has been going on for almost 15 minutes, but they have not even approached Lin Fan within 5 meters of his body. He knew very well that this was the reason why they were completely in a passive situation. If this situation lasted for a long time, they would definitely fall into a disadvantage. At that time, if Lin Fan saw the opportunity, he could completely break their joint forces. As a more experienced person, Luo Beijing naturally understood this truth. But even if he understood it, the problem now was that Lin Fan controlled the 3 hidden weapons to attack very quickly, causing them to be unable to get close even if they wanted to. Unless someone was not afraid of getting hurt and rushed to get close to Lin Fan, then Lin Fan would definitely use more than one hidden weapon to resist. In this way, they would have a chance to really get close to attack Lin Fan. Yes, this is the only way. Thinking of this, Luo Beijing was immediately determined. If this situation does not change, it will be too disadvantageous for them. Even if someone gets hurt, they must make changes. Xiaoma, don't be afraid of getting hurt later. Just keep rushing towards him. I don't believe he will only use one hidden weapon to deal with you, as long as he controls 2 hidden weapons, or even 3 hidden weapons to stop your crazy approach, then we have a chance to fight back, Luo Beijing said in a low voice. His volume was controlled very well, and Lin Fan did not hear what he said. After all, everyone is a level 4 evolver, and their hearing has been greatly improved. He controlled the volume well, and Lin Fan could only see his mouth moving at most, but could not hear clearly what he said. Okay, Brother Beijing, I'll do as you say, the man called Xiaoma nodded. In front of Luo Beijing, he did not dare to disobey. Because, when they came out, the leader of Luomen told them to obey Luo Beijing's orders and arrangements and everything. If they disobeyed, they would definitely be severely punished. Yes, Luo Beijing's eyes fixed, and he said again, after we avoid his next attack, you will take action, just rush forward. Even if you are injured, we will not let him have an easy time, okay? The man nodded again. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Lin Fan once again controlled 3 hidden weapons to attack Luo Beijing and his 3 companions. Luo Beijing and his 3 companions were quick-witted and locked onto the trajectory of the hidden weapons, and then dodged the attacks of the hidden weapons at a very fast speed. After dodging, Xiaoma took a deep breath, a look of determination flashed across his eyes, and he stepped on the ground, and rushed out quickly, heading straight for Lin Fan. Facing Xiaoma's sudden attack, Lin Fan frowned, controlled the darts to fly back, and attacked Xiaoma's body from behind. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone, see you in the next video.